terror lies in wait for all of humanity. It's not safe, but for Enterprise, it's payback time.
Friday on Star Trek Enterprise.
I think it's a time machine.
Imagine a war where time is a weapon, where alternate pasts and infinite futures collide, where one mistake can annihilate whole worlds.
I can erase you from history.
The Time War is now. Star Trek Enterprise. Over 15 million viewers witnessed the launch of Enterprise.
Let's go.
Entertainment Weekly proclaims this is the first Trek spin-off appealing to both Trekkies and non-fans.
You have yet to embrace either patience or logic.
All work and no play.
Discover an all-new Enterprise, Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on UPN. UPN next Wednesday. An alien race gives a whole new meaning to close encounters of the third kind.
Maybe we could sleep together.
They need three to mate.
I'm pretty familiar with how it works with two sexes, but...
Oh, well, I have pictures.
A provocative all-new Enterprise. Cogenitor. UPN next Wednesday at 8, 7 Central.
Consequences waiting for you.
Come on, admit it. You're a little jealous.
I don't experience jealousy.
UPN Wednesday. He can show her the universe and the secret that could save her.
Think of what I can offer you.
But at a price.
You would kill over 80 people to keep me here?
Their fate is in your hands.
An all-new Enterprise. To save a desolate planet from rogue warriors, the crew goes where they have never gone before. Down and dirty.
You've never seen a Klingon in battle, have you?
This plan is a long shot.
Show yourselves!
I've never liked bullies.
Enterprise.
You just sit tight. We'll have this all fixed up in time for supper.
UPN Wednesday on Star Trek Enterprise. An alien race being hunted to extinction.
They all had to be destroyed.
But they were once human, and their ship was called
Enterprise.
Star Trek Enterprise. Next Wednesday on UPN, Enterprise discovers a repair station that works miracles.
Something doesn't smell right.
But the service comes at a terrible cost.
He's dead.
Tell me what happened.
Life support's failing. If we don't disengage soon, we'll be incinerated.
Get us out of here.
All new Enterprise next Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on UPN. When Enterprise comes between bitter rivals,
Release that hostage.
the crew becomes a target.
This isn't any of our business. I've got an armory full of torpedoes. We're not handling this in the right way.
Any other orders of mine you'd like to question?
An all-new Enterprise. Wednesday on an all-new Star Trek Enterprise.
They have the virus.
Travel in time to the year 2004. The place,
Earth.
the date.
Now.
It's a battle to avert a bioweapon strike at the heart of the 21st century.
None of this was supposed to happen.
Tonight, Enterprise's 2-hour event continues. T'Pol's Vulcan mating cycle kicks in, and she's out of control.
There's no reason to be restrained by human morality.
Now she must mate within 24 hours or die.
Don't be frightened. I won't hurt you.
UPN Wednesday.
We've had an accident.
When a crew member is beamed aboard, something goes terribly wrong.
I'm not convinced that the transporter put me back the way it's supposed to. Her molecules are coming apart.
The episode you have to see to believe.
We lost Hoshi.
It began as a mission of mercy.
People are dying, and I can't determine why.
Tell us what you know. We might be able to help.
But became something more personal.
There are lots of inhabited planets to see, but I doubt many will be this memorable.
An all-new Enterprise. Her innermost desires
Vulcans who attempt to embrace their emotions often revert to their primal nature.
are about to be revealed.
I'd say you're a little jealous.
Your emotions are breaking the surface.
Embrace them.
An all-new Enterprise, part of 2 full hours. They are the first to explore deep space.
You wanted to see what's going on over there? We're going in.
Their mission, to go where others had only dreamed.
We all signed up for this trip because we wanted to do something no one had done before.
To find the courage to face the unknown.
You're in a dangerous situation.
I need to know I can count on you.
And pave the way for generations to come. This is the beginning of the Star Trek saga. Enterprise. On Wednesday, January 16th, Enterprise returns with 5 new episodes in a row.
They're reassigning you.
I'm certain the High Command will find you a suitable replacement.
You're a part of my crew.
5 new missions for the first Star Trek crew.
If you asked anyone on board whether they thought this mission was worth the risk, you'd get the same answer from every one of them.
Enterprise. UPN Wednesday. 2 blockbuster new episodes. First, meet the man who was meant to be the captain of Enterprise. Keith Carradine guests. Then, it's finally happened. T'Pol's in heat, and she needs relief.
Don't be frightened. I won't hurt you.
UPN Wednesday. Journey to a parallel world where the Old West is still alive.
They're human.
How the hell did they get here?
And advanced technology is no match for a lead bullet.
Do you have any experience riding these animals?
Drop that, whatever it is!
Star Trek Enterprise.
Next Wednesday on UPN. Don't miss an all-new Enterprise. A time bomb is ticking.
It's too dangerous. I'm not about to leave one of my crew behind.
The enemy lies in wait.
We've got a man trapped out there.
But the danger has just begun.
Cam, what's going on? Romulans.
All new Enterprise next Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on UPN.
UPN Wednesday. The enemy has created a device.
I want to know where the weapon is being built and when it's going to be ready.
That will destroy Earth.
Looks like some kind of countdown.
You have to get out of here!
Then, in 2 weeks, the unthinkable happens.
Earth.
Destroyed.
Star Trek Enterprise. UPN next Wednesday. The accused.
I am not your enemy.
The charges.
He has committed an act of war.
The verdict.
Death.
A Klingon tribunal brings Enterprise to its knees.
A rescue attempt is out of the question.
A powerful all-new Enterprise. Judgment. UPN next Wednesday at 8, 7 Central. UPN next Wednesday on an all-new Enterprise. 2 nations.
Both sides are responsible for what happens here.
Willing to sacrifice everything for what they believe.
The Vulcans must concede
To Andoria.
Unacceptable.
What will be the ultimate cost for peace?
Hold your fire!
A timely new Enterprise event, Ceasefire, next Wednesday at 8, 7 Central, only on UPN. The first planet they explore looks like home.
I almost forgot what fresh air smells like.
But what they discover
Who is that?
is like nothing on Earth.
Commander, there! Some kind of life form down here!
An all-new Enterprise. Next Wednesday on UPN, the Canamar prison is legendary for its cruelty.
Probably make an example of you.
No one who enters escapes with their life.
What if you're not guilty?
We're all guilty as far as they're concerned.
Meet the newest inmates.
We gotta get out!
A shocking all-new Enterprise event, Canamar, next Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on UPN. UPN Wednesday, an all-new Star Trek Enterprise.
My faith obligates me to destroy
Red
your
alarm.
ship and put
Red
your crew
alarm.
to death.
Red alarm.
You're trying to wipe out everyone who doesn't
Thank you,
share
Polar
your
Knights, for
beliefs.
following.
All in the name of God.
You wanted to kill someone.
Hello, everybody. We're here to watch some Star Trek. We're going to watch... Right, go on.
Listen, we're doing 2, all right? So the first one's going to suck eggs, but the second one is really, really good. So don't leave halfway through the first one. I know we're all going to be tempted, but hang on tight.
Yeah, so yeah, we've been talking about And the Children Shall Lead for a long time now, and I think it's fine. We need to break the ice and just get it done, just get it out there, let it infect the ratings with whatever we're going to put it to. Yeah.
Oh, Danjevin in chat.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's my favorite boy.
We are 3 boobs. You are correct.
There are 4 boobs.
We are the total recall of boobs.
Yes, Ensign is all over me.
You're awful. You're awful. You're awful.
Okay. Do you want to watch a trailer for this dumb shit?
Look, savor the good mood while you can. It is not going to last.
You're not wrong, because it's like Latent Image is really, really good, but man, is it depressing. And The Children Shall Lead is its own fucking special bricolage of garbage. So it's going to be great.
Yes, let's watch the...
And we're watching Andromeda tomorrow, so we're going to have some direct comparisons.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Okay, let's watch this trailer. Hang on.
Can this be Andromeda? That's the real metric.
Wow.
No.
Oh, wait, I added 2 new triggers. Hang on. I added...
I can't read.
And also...
So young.
There you go, 2 new triggers for you.
Line read is even worse than I remember.
So young. Okay, right. Let me enable something on the thing here. Right, this is And the Children Shall Lead trailer. Let's go.
The crew of the Enterprise discover a devastating loss.
Mass suicide.
But for these children,
Come on, play with us!
it's just another game.
Whatever happened here is locked up inside those children.
Now, what they don't know could kill them all.
We will go!
I have no answers, Jim. There has to be an answer.
I see my death.
Death to you all!
I'm losing command. Losing the Enterprise.
Star Trek.
I mean...
Bro, that trailer needs an Emmy nomination because that is so much better than what we're about to watch. That actually had a little bit of suspense and action.
It so oversells just how much happens in this episode.
I love that 2-frame shot of Shatner squeezing Sulu's cheeks and shaking his head. That was really good.
It's something like I did watch this fairly recently, and when I say fairly recently, probably within the last 6 years. And I remember, yeah, that's my timeline of my life right now. I think I was like on the exercise bike watching Star Trek, and that was my routine at the time. And I was watching this, just going,
and then you turned your bike away from And the Children Shall Lead, and you started pedaling really hard.
What's going on? Just like that. Do we even need to pre-rate? Is this going to be zeros across the board?
For science.
For science, okay.
We might as well.
Stars. What will you pre-rate this wonderful?
By the way, thank you, Dan, for providing his voice for the trailer.
Exactly. Let me just remind you guys, there were only a limited number of episodes in the original series Star Trek, so just we've not got many to rate. It's a no. Okay, carry on. Go on, Stars.
So, I had not watched this episode until I went over to Autos in Germany. We watched it with a friend of his, and we had a great time riffing on it because I didn't realize how bad it was. I genuinely struggle to think of anything redeemable about this episode. I don't believe it adds anything to the lore. I don't believe there's a particularly good performance. I don't believe there's a particularly noteworthy special effect. I don't believe there's any good lines. I don't think there's anything about this that really needs to exist. So I am going to just go with a flat 0, and if we get anything higher than that, then I will be impressed.
Interesting. Okay. Auto.
All right, I'm stealing yours, Idle, but I'll throw this one up front. Watching a first rough cut of the episode, Gene Roddenberry was appalled by Billy's stilted performance and lack of acting talent, and ordered the producers to distort his voice and appearance by covering him in green glow as much as possible. This is a 0. I have been waiting I've avoided giving zeros to catastrophically bad episodes because I knew we were going to eventually have to watch this one. And I think there's one or two decent scenes, but it won't matter. It won't save this episode from a 0. It's so bad in other areas. So,
okay, I'm gonna go with an optimistic 1 because I feel like I feel like zeros across the board. I feel like there must be something because eventually we're gonna have to talk about our best moment.
You think that?
Our best
you
moment.
think that?
Right? At some point,
We
we're
get
going to
a
have to find
mulligan.
something. And if there is a kernel, if we cannot find a single thing about the episode that we can say, oh no, I give up, I can't find a best moment of the episode, then I will happily give this a 0. But this is...
I have to point something out, though, right? Think about the Star Trek fandom and its transformative effect on episodes, right? How even awful episodes like Spock's Brain or Threshold or will eventually be like re-embraced by the fandom as camp or as just kind of a bit of stupid fun. It's not canon, don't worry about it, right? And it will get eventually reabsorbed back into the canon through like Lower Decks or like, a fun little thing like that. Can you think of a single thing from And the Children Shall Lead that has made that transition? No, because it's not even worth making fun of. It's so boring.
Well,
we did that. That's us doing groundswell. That's us making it happen. And like, it isn't catching on because no one has seen this episode and no one remembers what this episode is. No one remembers this. No one remembers this because no one wants to remember this episode. That's how bad it is.
Oh boy. Well, everyone, get your Paramount Pluses, your DVDs, and your Blu-rays ready. I'll give you your couple of minutes warning here to start watching it with us. But I don't know.
By the way, guys,
yeah.
For the audience who are all like, "Oh man, I can't even watch these," by all means, skip out and The Children Shall Lead. Like that one wasn't my choice. The Latent Image was my pick because it's one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek ever, and I think you should watch that one with us. By all means, don't bother putting on like the actual episode and watching along with us. Just listen to our commentary from The Children Shall Lead. But Latent Image, you should actually rewatch.
What you should do is go put on something actually really good, but keep our commentary going, and then you can make. We'll just ruin everything for you. Okay. Let's start this episode. Let me find the time code. There it is. Okay, beginning this episode. The sooner we get it started, the sooner we can finish this episode, this manner of entertainment. In
this Enterprise thing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Punch it.
I'll punch
I wonder how much the remastering did for the non-ship stuff.
Probably a lot, actually.
Can you turn it up, Idle, please?
Can I? I can actually, yes. All right. Do you want me to? Really?
Play ain't gone wrong.
Namer, I did think we were doing Voyager first. That's my fault.
Jonestown.
A little bit. Man, R.I.P. the Wiggles.
It's like a cult.
That is like a fairly powerful first shot. That they're all dead.
Okay, see? That is a whole pink jumpsuit.
Yeah, that is magenta. You know me, don't you? No, okay. It's like a onesie as well. Like that's bold.
Big purple onesie.
Should he?
Should he have done?
Yeah, no. Tanner's ego can't handle that someone didn't notice him. Did you just stick his fingers in their mouth?
We're entering his fetish phase. Saladin.
Got weird splotches all over it. That's weird. Oh, I guess it's from the effects of the poison, I guess?
Oh, look at this. Look at those effects.
No, they won't explain it.
No, we've had that.
No, that's a different episode.
Yeah, we done that.
No, they watched their own episode. Mass suicide.
Oh no. wearing wellies.
Dude, that is worse than anything Wesley's ever worn. Tommy.
I will not.
Well, they're singing. That ticks another box of why we shouldn't be watching this one.
Yeah, DeForest Kelly and Leonard Nimoy are just like, did we need to do this? I feel like season 3 was a mistake. And Shatner's now thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah. I'm starting thinking of a cop show.
Dude, he's never been speechless this long before.
Yeah, that was very strange. Just all of them just stand there. Don't do anything. Just stand there. Okay.
Dude, there's no tension in this episode either.
Shadow's thinking, yeah, we're getting cancelled.
Like, you know, I'm gonna take a moment. TOS season 3. How many actually good episodes are there in season 3?
There's a couple. Is that where
All I Stage is pretty okay.
Yeah. Balance of Terror? No, Balance of Terror season 1. What's the other one with the
That's season
Romulan?
1.
No, the Romulan lady. The other Romulan episode.
The Enterprise incident. That's all right.
That was
yeah.
okay. Although, mind you, it's mostly Spock. Spock seducing her.
I do like Day of the Dove. Wink of an eye.
That's all right. Yeah, 4. Yeah.
Cloud Miners I like.
Tholian Web's okay.
Tholian Web's good, actually.
The Way to Eden I actually do like, even though it sucks.
For the World is Hollow and I've Touched Sky is all right.
Right,
Is There No Truth and Beauty is okay.
There's some
No, this is more important.
Yeah.
We'll pretend to pay attention now.
I'd say like at least like there's like 2/3 of the season sucks. Like 2/3 of it.
Have replicators. Do they have like a stonecutter, stonemason on board that made these?
They didn't even bother giving them first names. Oh my god, that shitty fucking flag.
You will salute your flag, sir. You will hold respect for the United Federation of Planets.
I want the kids to knock it over. Oh my god.
Into the cave, children.
Man, if I ever die and my like funeral's attended to by like Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and 2 rando security operatives, just like dig me up and try again. We need to redo it.
By the way, we're seeing cutting edge psychiatry out of the 60s.
Yeah.
This is classic Bones. I think he's on point right now.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Kirk's a little shell-shocked.
What about stunning them with our phasers? Are you guys not going to talk about the alien at all that they mentioned on the tricorder tape? How long is it going to take for that plot point to come back?
About 25 minutes.
No,
Oh,
that child just knocked over the flag.
Vaporize him right now!
That's a court-martial offense. Why has that person got a bigger flagstone?
Music.
What's the headstone behind him then?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a huge one.
Is that just marking the whole incident?
William Shatner was here.
Oh, he's phoning in these lines. He doesn't give a fuck, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, we should have put this up with the season 1 TNG children episode when the bow.
No, how about you fucking die?
Yeah,
no,
this is duology.
Ironically, Picard is actually better with kids than Kirk is. I feel.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Kirk doesn't have a standing order to stay 20 meters away from children, though. Oh, the other way around. Picard doesn't. Sorry, I'll abandon that joke.
Yeah, hit abort.
I'm out.
Okay, now we're arguing about the minutiae of language.
I mean, that's
After a mass
Spock's
suicide
entire
attempt.
thing. Yeah. They literally told you the plot twist in the first 2 minutes, you dipshits.
Yeah.
Like, Idol, speaking as like a fellow GM of Star Trek Adventures, if we had this like as an adventure and we put like you would not put the tricorder with it was an alien within the first 2 minutes.
Only if that was to lead to a bigger twist later on.
I guess.
Like it wasn't an alien.
But there isn't a bigger twist.
Yes. But don't you understand? It's about the children's journey.
Almost like it was a fucking alien, Kirk.
Almost. It's uninhabited now because most of the people are dead. Yes, Kirk.
It renders this entire scene pointless.
Yeah. Is that the first time you've turned on your tricorder?
Is it a Zubat?
He's literally
There's a
writing,
million
"I am not
Zubat in
Spock
there.
right now."
Watch out, I'll cast Supersonic and then you'll have confusion. You'll hit yourself.
Did that flag change positions?
Yes. Yeah.
Boy, they really liked that flag.
They spent a whole $3 on that flag.
Party City, yeah.
Wow, he really doesn't care, does he? Wow.
I'm getting a feeling of I need my paycheck.
I will say, I feel like we're going to get some prime shat from this episode.
The entire episode's a lot of shat.
If you wanted to define the point where he becomes a parody, it might be this episode.
Mm. I mean, they technically can. Just, induced heart rate and, like, whatever.
Medical tricorder.
No, Turnabout Intruder isn't for a while, Captain.
Oh my god.
Oh, we have to watch Turnabout Intruder.
Unfortunately, yes, we do. My wummy tummy is gone, Spock.
He's very whispery today.
Usually that's a very different line from you, Kirk. Sympathetic vibrations.
One of the
already looked
psycho tricorder that they used in the episode Wolf in the Fold.
No. Also, I'm going to look at the tapes. You already looked at the most important tape.
Please don't eat them.
I don't really like that hairstyle on Chapel.
It's fine, but it's not my favorite.
If this was Strange New Worlds Chapel, she'd already be inoculating them with some sort of genetic modifying.
No, she'd be kicking these kids on their ass.
Must be making out with Spock in the hallway.
Yeah.
Surprise ice cream tape.
Look, it's broccoli. Oh.
How do you know that? You haven't tasted or smelled it.
What?
Are you racist against ice cream? What's going on here?
I intentionally made a bad ice cream for you?
Chocolate wobble?
Chocolate wobble.
Chocolate wobble?
I like how he's more devastated by coconut ice cream than the death of his parents.
Wow. Is it?
Oh, it's larger.
Oh, Leon's getting
larger.
There we go.
They're not high, is what you're saying.
Yes.
He's very subdued when he's not being anxious.
Hmm. Hard cartoon just slapping the shit out of the children.
It is kind of funny, two military men trying to figure out how to psychoanalyze children.
Mm. I appreciate the line about, like, yeah, we child specialists, like, you know. Oh my god. A little one. A little bit of cheese.
Yes, yeah. That's a large ice cream chapel.
Yeah, for real.
Dude, look at the kid on the end. Look how big his is.
Yeah, stupid things. Well, great line with you there, kid.
This planet where there's nothing on it.
Why is that child wearing a blanket?
They're all kind of wearing weird shit.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the troublemaker.
Oh, am I so quiet, Idle?
A little bit. No, come on. Start second.
Am I so quiet?
Maybe I need to boost you
I might
more.
need to turn me up on your end.
Yeah.
Feel like I'm
Shatner's
really
lack of reaction is how I feel about this episode.
Does this music help or hurt?
It annoys me.
It's more subdued than it could have been.
I feel like it's more over the top than it could have been. All right. We're 13 minutes in, and we're still bickering about ice cream spoiling dinner.
To the brig!
You seem to be the alpha male of the group.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, look at that kid. Doesn't he just scream leader?
From one alpha to another.
Can we say 10 to a 10? He's like, I'm an 11, but okay.
All right. You remember how Marina Sirtis said she had to spit out ice cream between takes to fit into her spacesuit? I feel like Kirk and his girdle is the same thing. He couldn't have the ice cream during.
I don't think about you at all.
I do kind of wish that little shit called him Jim.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine?
Meanwhile, Uhura's on the bridge like, Captain, we've got like a serious emergency up here. Can you please stop talking to the children for like the last hour and a half?
Yeah.
We need some admin stuff doing.
Me parents! Yeah, whatever, fucking Jason Todd.
No, Stars. This is an LA Noire interview. Literally, just analyze his facial reaction to see how he's doing.
You know what? There is a child that you investigate in LA Noire, and she's a weird interrogation. It's weird. But you get to scream at her, which is pretty hilarious.
We'll do that soon.
Yeah. The not often seen TOS Arboretum.
I was going to say, does this Arboretum set give you a point? Or give the episode a point?
New. Oh, God.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, the witches.
Children demonic chanting. Well, that's a decent shot.
Summon the barrister.
All right, who would this summon in an ideal, hilarious world?
Mr. Rogers.
Oh, God, no!
You
He's
found
very
the evidence
sleepy.
for that shooter.
Dude, this guy reads lines worse than the children.
Why is that one child slightly boss-eyed?
Oh, this
I'm
guy's
dying. I'm dying.
He blinks for a full second.
Our friends of our friends who might not be our friends will meet us
On Travis line.
So you joined a cult.
Like, do you think he talks like this to his like kids and his like wife?
Yes.
We
This is why he
play
wins
in.
cases.
That's like
He just bores them to death.
You know how to do that.
So shall you do. So shall you do. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Wait, where did the table come from? Weren't they all standing?
Yes. I like to think that they told the kids hammer harder so we'd have to listen to his line reads.
Dan, you're probably right. Yeah, this just got Nimoy. Hi, Sulu.
I'm sorry, this does not beat Alan Moraine.
I don't know. I will be defending that episode when we come to it, but another time.
Oh, is it the bit that we listened to at the beginning of the episode, Spock?
Yes, we're at 18 minutes and they still haven't.
Did he really?
Spock pulls his mask off and it's the Gorgon. Dude, everyone's so sleepy in this episode too.
Why is he like doing like a selfie camera in the mirror? Like
Yes. But it's on a weird angle.
Yeah, how's he done that? That's the real scene.
This is the yeoman. This is the yeoman from Unexpected.
Also, like, where was he recording this on the planet?
Yes, we've got another 30 minutes runtime. Let's watch them all.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a little nervous now. That's already better anxious than Kirk.
Yeah. Can you just like play them all in order, Spock? Why are you doing it so dramatically? Mm-hmm. Why?
Sure, he's just walking.
Don't walk. Stroll on the bridge like he owns it.
Oh, here we go.
My...
Bang the drum.
And no one notices this. No one notices.
Well, no one watches the children.
Whatever. No one was kind. They did not rewind. No.
Anyone going to question
No.
that?
No, you are not allowed to stay on the bridge. Oh my god.
Ah, Timmy, come on the bridge. Oh, it's Tommy, sorry. Leslie.
Meanwhile, Spock and Kirk go to his quarters to analyze the readings.
You know.
Yes, they need to talk about what they just talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay there long enough, you might become an accident. Yeah, he's just
Wait, is no one
on the bridge.
Is no one at the con? Is no one at on the captain's chair?
Uhura's just like, yeah, this is fine.
Isn't someone meant to be there?
I'm not even looking, and I know from the horns what's going on.
Yeah. Got to change the
Is
time.
that the only time they ever they touch that? Like in the
it's daylight savings
series?
time. They've got to
Like
adjust it now.
All right. A first ever Trek pull up in chat. Is Tommy's shirt worse than anything Wesley ever wore? Please vote.
I'll have to see it again. Yes.
Wait, so does he have to stand there and do that motion the whole time to keep them mind controlled?
I guess so.
We're just bringing children to the bridge? Like, where's the TSA? Come on.
Actually, TK does a pretty good I'm high acting.
You dumb fuck bitch.
Bro, she's like 7. Calm down.
I hate these children. I hate them all.
Uhura sees it. See? Uhura's the savior.
You're wrong. Look again. That's what Picard would say.
Yes.
And no one on the bridge noticed that outburst.
Engineering's
That's
like,
fine.
yeah, we're going to warp. Anyone want to ask that?
Yeah, anyone talk about that? Security guy, what are you doing?
There's no explainable plot going on here.
There is no plot in Ba Sing Se. Yeah.
I do like the little horn stings. They're so dumb, but it is kind of.
I'm gonna find that as a trigger, and I'm just be like, boom, boom.
I like to think they projected the episode up on screen and then had the entire orchestra like hit the brass every time this little kid jerks his arm.
Please don't say jerk.
Finally, someone competent on this ship.
No, I won't last.
Daft.
The funny thing is, I bet it would be funny if the kid's mind control didn't work on Scotty just because he's so Scottish.
He's too drunk.
Cut. It's like, you can't have me, laddie.
Finally, someone. Jeez.
You want to step, laddie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, going for it.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Scotty.
Yeah, no, I believe Scotty could take these guys. Absolutely. Oh, no. Damn it.
Yeah, he tried to save the ship.
Yeah.
MVP.
We will now not see him for the rest of the episode.
Actually, that guy kind of looks like this dude in a red shirt. How long are they going to review these?
It's taken 24 minutes.
My mind! Oh!
No, we've done that.
Almost as if I've never seen this tape before.
Oh, now we got to watch the family stuff.
Yeah.
He literally just provided you the detail, guys.
Why are we bigging up the dead guy? Can we get to the plot?
Yeah, take that, Republicans.
This is the most pointless sophistry Star Trek has ever done, and think of how much that includes.
Yeah. But none of this matters. None of this has anything to do with anything.
He's so sleepy, Shatner.
Well, he's had a long 3 seasons.
Oh, good. We're getting an astrology lesson now.
Yeah.
Picard's like, but did they leave any relics?
Did they leave any Kalaneskas? Yes. The Triforce needs to be released so that Ganondorf can...
I was going to say, this is like the Gambit, but...
Yeah.
Wait, we're talking about the children now?
Yes, we have to tap and release them.
Yeah, we have to start freaking
They're like maple trees.
We got to get some trepidation going on. We got to open up the holes in their heads and let the grief escape.
Wait, so his interest was briefly piqued, and then he decided to do nothing.
So here's the big plot hole with this: has no one looked out the fucking window?
Yeah, the entire ship of 430 people are like, yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah.
No, because the kid did this to all
fine,
426 of them, except for these 3.
Because they're too busy watching
And Chapel. He's whispering again.
Oh, is this the bit where he kills two people?
Yes, it is, isn't it? Oh my god.
Oh, actually, this might be decent.
Oh no. Just look out the fucking window,
my...
Shatner. Come on.
Like the fact that they don't bother to check transport coordinates. Like,
no, he willfully kills
why would
people.
you?
No, motion
Why
picture
would
is
you?
Kirk's fault. This is Kirk's fault.
Yeah.
0 days since last transporter accident.
How was that not in the lower decks bit? Your tour duty won't last 1 hour, buddy.
These poor red shirts.
They don't even get any names, do they?
No. Well.
How do you not know what coordinates?
You can... Jesus Christ.
This guy seems completely lucid, by the way. If there was like a kid mind controlling him, you might understand it.
This guy got bumped back down to yeoman after this was done.
This guy got court-martialed.
Yeah.
They need to demote all of themselves.
It's not that impossible. You're in a spaceship!
Oh.
You just said that, Spock.
I like how that's a dedicated screen that you have every time.
Yeah, all you have to do is flip the switch and then it comes on.
But the dead guys. No, don't give a fuck about them.
No, not a single fuck.
This is what we needed to break the tension.
Like the show Nichols is looking at this like this is what Martin Luther King Jr. told me to stay for.
Never mind. Why are the children on the bridge? No, just... Oh, yeah, there he goes.
Like, you see that? It's like, okay, cool. Set the phase of the stun. Wide beam, go.
Dude, you can't tell me that Alan Moraine was worse than this.
Yeah, dude, like, come on.
No.
He looks like he's wearing a garbage bag.
He is.
He probably is.
Actually, it looks like something Cher might have worn.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's Pagliacci. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We do. We shall prevail.
You can't keep on doing line reads that are better than his.
The funny thing is, if you go back and watch the episode with Landrew in it, I think Landrew has more personality as a computer.
Dude, I love the zoom ins on these kids' faces.
You're just staring.
I'm just
showing no emotion.
I'm going to steal Dan's comment of what does Liberace need with a starship?
But I had to go and like do something.
By the way, I forgot to mention we have text to speech in the channel points now. If you want to use text to speech.
Oh. Make sure that gets piped.
Oh, actually, no, it's not on this channel. Hang on, no,
I don't want to miss that.
Give me a second. I can fix that.
Go to your stations. Mary, you remain here with me.
Shit, where did I put that?
Phaser.
And look, everyone just obliges. Spock goes to his position.
Shit. No,
for
text
podcast listeners, we didn't do a podcast for this. Is Tommy's shirt worse than anything Wesley wore? Half the people say undoubtedly.
Wow.
Half think there's some contention here.
Oh yeah, this garbage. Oh no, knives in space.
Could Shatner give any more of a fuck?
Wait, whose voice is that supposed to be?
It was literally described as tired.
Oh.
Why are you just letting him do it?
Wow. That's some 60s.
If not for Threshold, that would have won the Emmy that year for makeup. I like how she just has a mirror at her station.
Of course. Woman's got to look her best. There's actually a snap cam filter, so she could do like funny faces to her friends.
Actually, if they did the filter where everyone looks like distressed, that'd be funny.
Assault vampire filter, yes.
Oh my god, it is.
Thank you, Dad.
It's an Instagram filter. Thanks for blinking. That's. Anyone else find it like deeply sexist that like, so what's the beast within her? Oh, what if I get old and die and look ugly? It's like,
yeah.
Really?
Oh, dude, it's better than you see fucking swords. Like that's the worst thing he could imagine.
Yeah, not wrong. It's all
By the way,
pretty insulting.
What do you want to bet Dan shows up in call after this episode? He's like, oh, sorry, I was late, guys.
Like, no, I have things to say.
Oh my god. Oh,
they got to you too, Spock.
But what? The thing is, why
Just
are
go
they not
punch him in the nuts?
Like, this is just the
I guess they see it as fun.
No, because Shatner's will is unbreakable even by the Gorgon.
Just go for the kid. Just kick him in the shins.
Or lock
Actually,
the
the
door.
resolution of this was Shatner fighting children. That would be better.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Just grab his wrist and stop him from jerking off the air. That's all it would take.
I think that's a completely brand new sentence.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, maybe not.
This is so terrible.
This is Leonard Nimoy just refusing to like go along with the script. There were more lines, but he refused to say them.
Gene is like completely checked out by this point. He's off producing another 50 different series.
Yeah, Gene is working on his like award-winning pilot for Andromeda.
No, it's Gene running
So
a
young.
starship at this point. Yes.
Wait, we have a command for that.
We do have
now.
a command for that.
So young.
Oh my god.
We've got
the tape recorder in reverse.
Ivan Netniaj.
I watched this episode of Red Dwarf. It was pretty good. How did Mr. Spock come through okay? Why are we wasting time on this?
Shaky cam for this.
Yeah, that's about my reaction.
All he's got to do is touch his forehead, and then he's good again.
Yeah.
The reset button. Reboot. You just hear the window noise.
Smuggle shit.
Just go and drop kick it. Come on. Just a little violence toward children. It's okay.
Look at him act. Here we go.
Oh no.
By the way, we haven't even peaked yet.
I don't think I can.
My Rofilcopter goes soy 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 soy.
You look at him act.
Soy soy
I'm losing command.
soy 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 soy
Losing my ability to command.
soy soy soy
I just realised text speech wasn't going through to you. Now it is.
soy soy soy
Name
soy
him.
soy 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 soy
Why?
soy 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 soy
Yeah, can you please?
soy 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 soy
Hello.
soy 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 soy.
This is so dumb. We've lost. That's it. He's lost it.
Now kiss.
Sexual tension is off the charts.
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Dude, that Rafflecopter was better dialogue than whatever the fuck. I'm losing command. I've lost command. Oh, he's got it back. That was quick.
I've got command.
What have you got command of, Kirk? Where's your other hand? Oh my god.
You know, so all right, so Spock breaks himself, right, with the mind meld. Why couldn't he just do that to Kirk to like stabilize his mental fortitude?
Because you had to do it really gaily.
Ah, gaily.
Oh no, we've lost him. This is kind of like the game, right, where they fall one by one to mind
Yeah.
control.
Fucking.
Oh.
I haven't got any commentary. There's nothing to say.
Yeah. I'm just trying to work out why my text to speech was coming through the wrong input. That's more entertaining to me right now.
No, he's not doing the Spider-Man thing.
I wish he were.
Oh, look at the strength.
Oh, look at that.
By
Threw
Yoda.
3 red shirts away at once.
Oh my god.
A dramatic zoom onto nothing. My beast is finished.
Could you not say that after? It's very off-putting.
The children. He wanted to say something other than children there. With some kind of de-evilizing bay. Yeah, kill the children. Yeah. Oh my fucking Christ.
Oh, good. We all get our evil lines. Leningrad.
Have you guys forgotten you have phasers? Have you actually just forgotten? Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call padding. Oh, he remembers he has a phaser.
Idle, you can just go to the toilet in the middle of an episode.
Oh, thanks. That's great. I'll be back.
Do not force me to do any more bad line readings.
So there's a billion different things they could do to try to resolve the situation. The only thing they've ever tried is reasoning with mind-controlled people.
Yeah.
Finally.
There you go, violence! That solves the problem.
Why is the red shirt beating up the Vulcan? Oh, there's a kickflip.
Do a kickflip over the canyon. Beat up these middle-aged men. Do it now.
Oh, Russian leg sweep. Way to go, Kirk. Although I love the big shiny boots on Tommy's outfit. Better than anything Wesley wore.
They're very compliant. You know? Now that, like, Spock remembered, oh yeah, we have guns.
Wait, so...
Oh, fuck off.
The spell is broken if you're not going like this, right? From what we just saw? Except now he's not doing it, and they're still mind-controlled.
What'd I miss?
I mean, it wouldn't land anyway.
You missed some plot-critical exposition, Idle.
Oh, shit.
Yeah! Beat up the kid!
Little leg kicking.
Kick!
He will come.
Ah, Wesley. Ha, got my seat back. Ha. The leader is good. The leader is great.
Guys, I'm dying here.
Mm-hmm. That's right. There's only 8 minutes left.
No.
Here's my friend.
The only way to break the spell is for Kirk and Spock to kiss each other on the bridge.
So where did he get the Gorgan from?
He didn't.
They shifted around the script and rewrote it so many times. They just lazy editing.
Yeah, typically great continuity. Yeah. The fact that that's a recording and it's still got bad line reads. Like, you could have done that any number of times.
It summoned the kids before it summoned the alien.
No, I love how they walked in. It's just like, yo,
In
what's
unison.
up?
I should have just like finger snapped aggressively as they came on the bridge. Patrick Stewart himself has decided to grace himself with our presence. He looks like a weird jelly topping, you know, like some kind of weird dumb sweet.
He is the mold.
Yeah. Like, what is he wearing?
He probably came to set and was like, I've had a few burgers. I'm not too proud of myself right now. If we could find something that doesn't show off any of my physique.
Yeah. Black slimming is slimming. Acting show grave weakness.
This conversation is so dumb.
Oh,
This you can tell we were not exaggerating with the zero.
I'm fucking just.
I regret my one.
Computer, playback images of the children's dead parents over and over again.
I must break you.
Yes, who would win in a fight?
Oh, look at the indignation.
Who would win in a fight? The children from The Children Shall Lead or Arnold Schwarzenegger? Look, there were more of you.
I like how this has a soundtrack too. The sour days.
Lovely.
I like how like they all like lived in those clothes. They never wore anything else.
No, also they live in just,
one
like,
outfit.
one sphere in the middle of like the darkest, coldest plutonian planet out there.
Yeah, suddenly Annika Hansen's parents look pretty fucking good.
Yeah, they just went to find the Borg.
I don't know. I just imagine they just held up puppies for the kids to react to.
Yeah.
Look, puppies.
No, they held up coconut ice cream.
No one has that reaction to coconut ice cream.
Look, I like Mounds and Almond Joy.
Do you like it enough to look like that?
I like the smoke. Wait, why did their suicide create a giant smoking crater in the background?
And Kirk looks really smug about showing these traumatized kids those home movies.
It's taken me 40 minutes to do it, but I finally got to do it. Fuck you, McCoy.
McCoy's like, you might traumatize. Oh, good.
Gravestones. Oh my god.
Zoom in on the gravestones. Nice guys finished last.
A little bit of tears in her eyes. She's doing well there.
Yeah, sure.
That's not a real tear.
Oh, single tear.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like someone squirting a bottle on their face.
Just off screen, Gene is stomping puppies in front of the children. Oh, he's trying.
This worked in the menagerie.
Just smeared like hot sauce in their eyeballs.
Yeah, pepper spray. Someone get the police. They're going to commit a crime one day.
I'm stealing this child.
Is that one of Shatner's children? It usually is. Or was that Miri?
Oh, he's acting for once.
Don't look at him. Don't. Okay.
It's the Terminator.
He's just putting like gross bubble wrap on him. Like what?
He's being assimilated. No, Dan, it's space herpes. It's vastly different.
Got space mumps.
What duties? What's he talking about?
Oh my god! I've never checked the timestamp so many times during an episode.
For real.
As well. Looks like what's his name? From
The resolution is for the kids to look at him.
Death to you all. Death.
They couldn't get him off screen fast enough.
Oh, thank God for that.
Oh, I'm fine now.
I like how they don't even bother recording a take where he changes his expression.
No.
It just goes from mind controlled to normal.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
the only sane person on the ship was not
Oh, hey,
affected by the
McCoy, where
entire
did you
thing.
go?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, no,
he was gone the entire
McCoy was just knocking it back at fucking his office. Like,
No,
what?
he was trying the ice cream tapes in the Arboretum. By the way, why are there food replicators in the Arboretum?
Ice
Don't worry
cream
about it.
plants, come on.
That's the biggest plot hole of this episode. Ice cream dispensers next to the garden.
Oh, it's all fine now.
Yeah, no, apart from those two guys that died.
Yeah, that was actually the best part of the episode. They escaped the rat race.
I really wish there was like an off-color joke about like. Yeah.
I will notify the family members of the deceased.
Oh my Christ! Maybe this show did deserve to be cancelled.
After that episode, definitely. Hang on. Right. Welcome to Star Trek Trek, our ongoing journey through all things Star Trek. And we have continued our journey. We have just this minute finished watching And the Children Shall Lead, which
I'm
was
so sorry.
an episode of Star Trek. Okay, Stars.
Was it?
How do you feel? And this should have come out by the time this episode comes on for a proper
Miserable.
How do you feel this compared to Loose the Fateful Lightning from Andromeda, the third episode, which had an oddly familiar plot, both involving children, and both involving children that.
This would have been better if it involved Noble Bombs.
Yeah, or what about?
I can't read.
You know, would that have made the episode better?
You know what? Like, and the Let Loose the Faithful Lightning was a piece of trash, right? It was garbage of the highest order. Well, I don't know if you drop garbage from enough height, but at least I'll remember bits of it. I'll remember I Can't Read. I'll remember Rev Bem. I'll remember just
Lexa Doig.
Yeah, like the conspicuously naked android. I will not remember this episode. I am actively scrubbing it from my brain really quickly. We don't have time. We have to do this quickly. I'm losing the episode real fast.
Yeah, I have as well, which is why I have to quickly whiz in there. Like, just what about the two guys on the transporter that were just beamed into space and no one thought to look out the fucking window to see if they were actually moving in space or check the coordinates of the location they were beaming to? Nope, just another Kirk. I'm going to beam people into a state of, death. Not the first time, won't be the last.
For anyone else who's forgetting the episode, let me give you a quick refresher course. I will be reading dialogue word for word from the episode between Kirk and Spock.
No.
I'm losing command. I'm losing my ability to command. I'm losing the Enterprise. I'm losing command. I'm losing the Enterprise. The ship is sailing on and on. I'm alone, alone, alone. I'm losing command. Captain, I've lost command. I've lost the Enterprise. Jim, I've got command. I've got command. I've got command of the Enterprise. Correct, Captain.
This feels like perfect material for like a Dark Materia episode. Like, I'm losing command.
Yes,
and he's like put like the Picard song underneath it. Like you could have.
This is going to be a musical by Brent Black, and that will be like an entire spiel.
Oh my god! Yeah, I think he might be able to make it halfway entertaining.
The one Trek role that Shai would refuse to ever do. I should say the one Kirk role.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's like Shai would play the Gorgon or whatever it is. Yeah.
No, it's too prestigious. Okay. This was written by Edward J. Laxo. This was the only thing he did for Star Trek. Are you surprised?
Really?
This was directed by Marvin J. Chomsky. This was the only thing he did for Star Trek. Fun fact, he is the cousin of Noam Chomsky.
Oh, the leftist and intellectual writer? No,
indeed,
cool.
Yes, Noam Chomsky. That indeed won. Yeah, so let's talk about Gorgon. The Gorgon. Melvin B. Gorgon, whatever you want to call him. He was actually right. Why this is a wild story. If you've not heard the story or read Memory Alpha lately, this is a wild one.
Lately, because so many people are perusing this Memory Alpha
Just about
page.
time I checked out
the people watching this have like a much higher instance of those who would peruse Memory Alpha.
True.
So
That's true.
It's true.
So the idea to cast noted attorney. I don't know how you say that.
He's losing the ability to speak. He's losing the ability to speak. He's lost the ability to speak. He's lost it. He's lost it.
He's regained the ability to speak.
He's regained the ability to speak.
The episode is sailing on without him.
Melvin Belly as the Gorgon came when his son Caesar Belly,
great name,
was cast as Steve. Producer Fred Freeberger, Steve, hoped that the presence of Belly would boost the ratings. We know where season 3 ended up. This plan failed, and Freeberger realized it would be more appropriate to cast an actor. And Otto, you mentioned this in the pre-cut, but I will. Yes. An actual.
It's a revolutionary idea,
I know.
by the way.
Who would have thunk it? Right, so also you mentioned this in the watch long, but I'll repeat it for the sake of the review. Watching our first rough cut of the episode, Gene Roddenberry was appalled by Belly's stilted
Gene Roddenberry was appalled, by the way.
Lack of acting.
Gene was appalled.
Yes, and for once it wasn't Shatner, and ordered the producers to distort Gorgon's voice and appearance as much as possible. Do you want to know? Can you guess? For those that haven't read the Memory Alpha, what Melvin Belly's biggest accomplishment was and why he got cast in this episode of Star Trek? Do you want to guess? Do you know? Gonna tell you. He was defending Jack Ruby, the man who murdered Lee Harvey Oswald. That was his
you
claim
killed
to...
my president, you rat. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was his claim to fame. Because of that, he got TV roles. One of his only ones. So what was so guys, we've just watched this. What happened?
Nothing.
Some children came on the ship. They did the hand thing.
So
it wasn't trauma
They did the
because they
hand
were
thing.
led by this weird cult, and they were taking the ship to somewhere because we don't know why.
This episode has endless issues. So many issues. All right, so they beam down to the planet. And they trigger the little log or whatever, and they hear the first line of the log is, "There's an alien here, and he's the cause." And they ignore it until about halfway through the episode, where they re-listen to the logs. There's about a 10-minute stretch of them just listening to logs, and they hear it again. And McCoy goes, "Maybe we should do something about this." And Kirk's like, "No, not just now." And McCoy leaves.
And wasn't seen again until the end of the episode. He was just like, you know what, I've seen this episode, I'm just gonna chill.
The only thing they do to try to counteract this mind control issue for the first 40 minutes is reason with them. Like quietly reason with them.
Historically, a very strong method of dealing with mind control.
Shatner's very out of character. Like, we like subtle Kirk. This is not subtle Kirk. This is phoned in Kirk.
This is true.
Really, really bad. Until he's losing control. That was even worse, but it was at least mildly entertaining. Go ahead, Stars.
You know what it is?
You got more. There's a big long list.
Even when Kirk is like losing it, he doesn't have any of his typical bombast. Like, there's none of that like emotiveness. There's no emotional range there. It's like he is absolutely just phoning in. He could not give less of a single fuck, and it's like I can't blame him. There's nothing here. There's no emotional stake. No one gives a fuck about anything. Like, can you name a second child that isn't Tommy?
Steve. Only because I just read his name.
No, I'm pretty sure.
No, his name was Steve.
Which one was Steve?
Which
one was Steve?
Oh.
Which one?
No, Steve was the child. No, yeah, cast as Steve. I don't know which one it was, but that was a child. Get the point. Give me the point.
Incredible. Well, incredible.
Give me the point.
Give me the point. Like, there's such a... This isn't even first draft. This is like a combination of like ideas written on napkins. Like, I don't understand what this is meant to be about.
Somehow, the episode which was being rewritten as it was filmed, Shore Leave, which we just reviewed, was actually a
miles better,
more coherent story than this, which was crafted by someone who probably didn't get much more work.
At one point, everybody is mind controlled except for Kirk, just so we can have Shatner be normal or whatever. Spock reaches up, grabs his temple for 5 seconds, and then he has broken the spell. All right, it's some kind of Vulcan mumbo jumbo bullshit. The very next scene, when Kirk is then overcome and mind controlled, why doesn't Spock just like grab him? No, Kirk works it out himself by repeating the same lines. He's fine. Why doesn't Spock mind meld with a single other person on the ship to break it? Instead, we go down and reason with them in the torpedo tubes, and then we like fight with Scotty in the hallway or whatever.
Well, also, can we talk about the fact that no one seemed to remember they had a gun until like 40 minutes into the episode? Like,
no one looked out the window at any point.
No, that's the biggest thing. Like, you got a ship that's in space looking out the window. You can feel the thrum of the warp core as it goes through the deck plates. That's been established many times. People go like, "Oh, we're going to warp. I can feel it." Like, one.
Didn't Scotty say, was it in the movies or was it in the series where he says he knows what speed they're going by the feel of the deck plates, except in this episode?
All right, okay.
I mean, give Scotty some credit. He tries to fix it and then he gets like bandjacked within
he
like
does,
5 seconds.
He's probably the MVP
by a small child going.
He actually tried. He didn't just let children onto the bridge. He immediately walked into engineering and went, something's fucky, and tried to fix it and then got knocked out. So, MVP to him, whereas Bones just went back and had a few margaritas back in his quarters and turned up at the end and went, we did it.
No, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, exactly. Edward J. Laxo, the writer for this episode.
Which is where they named laxatives from, by the way.
That's going to be a thing. Also was a writer on Charlie's Angels. He wrote 51 episodes of Charlie's Angels.
Oh, I bet they all suck.
I bet they all do. I just had to look that up because I needed to know.
You know what the thing is, like, I don't get, right? So, like, one of the many scattered ideas that this episode has is scary children, right? And it's like, scary children I don't feel like has ever worked. I can't think of a single thing where scary children was actually a thing where I was like, ooh, that's a creepy kid.
I mean,
like maybe The Exorcist.
Yeah, I was just
no, Children of the Corn is not fucking scary.
No, it's
I've
not.
watched
But
that.
it is
I
a
laughed.
horror idea. It is
Yeah, and it was bad then as well.
Not The Exorcist. Shining.
The kids aren't all that it's like elevators full of blood. Like
I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to find something.
You're trying, and it's like, it never works. Also, Star Trek in 1969 is not trying to try and do it. It just doesn't work. You need like seriously skilled child actors, a good idea, a good atmosphere. It's like the amount of things that could be fixed about this episode, or at least improved a little bit with a bit of directorial flair. Like, The idea that someone was like, what would be scary?
Yeah.
Not scary. You know what would be actually genuinely scary? Like an intense zoom in on the eyes or something like that. Like, I know Charlie X did something kind of like that, and that also sucked, but like, at least it looked a little bit weird. This is just asking for people to go, what the fuck are you doing?
So I will give one, this might go into my best moment, because at least they tried at the early onset of the episode to do the whole, oh, it's trauma. And they tried to psychoanalyze the kids a little bit at the start and kind of do a little bit of like, for the 60s, do this kind of whole taking mental health into consideration. Go on.
Except
and
the resolution
is to traumatize them.
Yes, exactly. They made them
tried
stare at their
everything
dead
else.
parents
Let's
and their
find out.
gravestones.
You're a therapist, and your child comes into, and you say, like, right, we need to take the baby steps, and they immediately try to hijack your office and try and murder people and take people away from you, and you go, actually, you know what, fuck it, here's your dead parents. You know, I probably would too.
All right.
You know what? No, there is one use for this episode, right? It's a very, very good contraceptive.
No, actually, I think it's the opposite, because I would rather be doing something else other than watching this episode.
No, you look at
if
this,
I was
you're like,
watching
you
it with
know,
my
I don't
wife,
want
I think
kids.
we'd definitely be
It's a
like,
mistake.
Okay. Let's
No,
not
you'd be like, I want to play Scrabble. I want to play Scrabble.
I don't know. I've seen.
I want to play
Scrabble.
Hangman,
Yeah.
but like the real life version. All right, I'm gonna bring back a classic segment, modify it a little bit,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go first because I think there's only one actual answer here. Instead of your hero of the episode, who was the best actor in this episode? And I'm gonna go first and take Scotty because I thought he was decent before he got mind controlled, and then afterwards he wasn't like horribly bad. He was just kind of monotone. So he's my best actor of the episode. Good luck.
Bones, DeForest Kelly. He actually is trying a little bit. Like, he's solid, he's reliable, and then they have to get him off screen because like
they had to remove him
because otherwise the entire plot falls apart, and they realize, you know what, we don't want to do that to DeForest. I bet you they tried, and DeForest Kelly was like, I ain't fucking doing that. Fuck you. And they were just like, get him off screen.
He was the only competent person. They had to write him off.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan, because I'm glad. For once, you know, we love you. I'm
Oh,
glad
you
you're not here, but
drew him a life raft.
I'm going to steal your chat suggestion. I'm going to say Majel. Majel was actually fairly decent when she was trying to entertain the kids, and then got completely bewildered by several different, like the kid who could suddenly sense coconut ice cream in front of him. It's like
coconut.
They're both
And what was it?
whites.
Coconut and vanilla.
I can't handle two white ice creams next to each other.
A white scoop of ice.
I have a very specific allergy, or like this just emotionally triggers me. Never mind my children. Never mind my parents are dead, and I'm being mind controlled by the Gorgon. If there are two white ice creams in a bowl next to me,
he was more upset by coconut ice cream than his dead parents.
He was more upset by coconut ice cream than Shatner was the entire episode. Than Spock just didn't.
Okay.
Nimoy didn't give a fuck.
God, this sucks.
Can I bring up something? Right. The alien's name is the Gorgon, right?
It's like a Godzilla villain.
Why? No. The Gorgon is a very specific figure in Greek mythology.
It is, yeah.
It's the women with the snake for heads who like turn people to stone and shit like that, right? What the fuck did that have to do with anything in this episode?
He had a snake for a trash can on his trash bag on his outfit. It was all snakes.
He had a trash can for a snake.
Yeah. The snakes were underneath the bag.
I'm going to do my memory alpha poll of the episode. This might be kind of decent. The Arboretum set was originally built for Elan of Troyes, which I think debuted 3 episodes earlier, but became a deleted scene due to time constraints. It was later modified for the Arboretum and appeared 2 episodes after this one. I did find that interesting when I read it, because it is actually like a set, and for them to put in that much time and effort for a scene that they cut surprised me. Like, I would figure if they sunk that much into it, they're like, oh, we got to have this on camera, let's cut something else. But they actually cut the Arboretum scene, which probably involved Kirk walking a lot of Troyes around and kissing her at the end. So
I think as well, it's like the TNG Arboretum. We don't see that often as well. Like, occasionally it pops in.
See it like maybe 2 or 3 times every
Yeah,
season. It's not very often, but it is there.
So I'm going to have my own memory alpha pull here, because this is the other thing as well of this episode. It kind of cements Shatner's acting and say a reviewer from the Agony Booth, which was a reviewing
aptly named
a reviewing system at the time, is also harsh on William Shatner's acting, which he sarcastically describes as being renowned and imitated the world over, which obviously we all know from the trope. Describing Kirk's breakdown in the Turbolift, he concludes, "There's no denying it. This is 100% grade A, pure Shatner here. We have reached Shatnerva. The Shat goes through his entire range of grotesque, buffoonish facial expressions until Spock finally moves towards him, prompting Kirk to wildly grab him by the throat." He has gone full. You never go full Shat.
Actually, I did call out while we were watching. I think this is the actual delineation point where he went from like reasonably good, understated actor with bombastic moments to full parody. Because this was so bad.
There was two halves to Shatner instead, because there was the point where it was just whispering and just
It was sleepy Shatner, and
dull.
then
yeah, and then all of a sudden, and now I'm acting. You know, yeah. It was,
And it's such a shame because we've seen him in those Twilight Zone episodes, and he's genuinely good.
Yeah,
like
he's
he's
good in a lot of Trek. Like,
has range.
I'm changed. I've definitely turned on Shatner's acting as we've been watching a lot more TOS stuff and a lot more stuff outside of TOS as well. Like I see the nuance more the more we watch it. But yeah, this is no.
Wait, who's the director for this?
Laxo.
Oh, Laxative. That's
no,
right.
Laxo was the writer. Marvin J. Chomsky. They've both got the middle name J, like Homer J. No one knows what it stands for. It just stands for J.
It's Marvin your cousin J. Marvin. Listen to this, and the page, and then there's like to put the phone down.
You're not ready for this, but your kids are gonna fucking hate it too. A bit of good news from Memory Alpha. The director Chomsky died in his sleep 2 years ago, March 28th.
Fucking hell. Oh, is that our best moment, is it? Fucking hell. All right, okay, it's time.
Four-time Emmy-winning director and producer of film. He won 4 Emmys and directed this.
He did direct Roots. Roots is a testament for the time. So anyway, let's go on to bread of the episode. What was your bread? I feel like there's so much bread here. I'm gonna get gluten intolerance. Stars, please. Give me your bread of the episode.
I'm gonna be cheap and I'm gonna steal it because me and Auto have been pushing it for years.
Oh, there it is.
It's just so non-threatening. Like, it's just like, I guess it's meant to imply, like, oh, I'm gonna hammer or, like, destroy you and create, make you into paste or destroy everything. Like,
listen,
when my wife vaguely masturbatory.
When my wife does it, it's like, hey, I'm in for a good night. When some random child on the street does it, I'm just like, okay, I need help here.
Okay, don't follow up my wife with, and then when the child does it, I'm trying to keep those two things separate.
Anyway. Also.
Actually, it would be a decent, you know how every Q has their own, like, finger snap, or Quinn does that, and then Amanda Rogers does, like, 2 hands. That could be like if you did it, like, once or something. I don't know.
I think there was, I've really got.
You know what would actually have a good amount of, like, if you just went like that, and then it happened. I feel like that'd be a lot more dramatic. Like, the hand slap would make it a lot more,
We never established if they need like eye contact to do it, or they can just be sitting in their quarters and go, "Oh yeah, I need to take over the ship. All right, let's just okay, fine."
Well, okay, so that's the thing where it.
I think me and Stars just had the same thought at the same time.
All right, this is where it crosses from science fiction. From science fiction into stupid fantasy, because you can't explain any part of that. Does it have range? Do you need to be like in contact? What does the alien actually do? How do the kids wordlessly know what the other person is supposed to be doing? Like, you just go like that and they do whatever you want. And that crosses the line from sci-fi into fantasy. Like, that's not good sci-fi.
You know, well, it also isn't internally consistent, right? Because it's like they say, "Oh, every person has their beast within them." That's how you control them, is by controlling through fear, right?
Inside there are 3 children doing this.
Bro, stop. Oh my god.
And so Sulu is afraid of giant swords in space. Okay. Uhura is afraid of dying of old age and disease. A bit more valid. And then Spock just kind of goes,
yeah.
That's not really we know what Spock's internal struggle is. He deals with it every other freaking episode when he's like forced to lose emotional control. So why is it just completely underplayed and undersold here? Like,
what's this revisit?
I think that's a sign of how underplayed and how little and how uninvolved in the episode Nimoy is that he didn't fight for anything more for Spock. He could have
Nimoy was checked out by this point. He was very
exactly.
Yeah.
He just didn't give a fuck, and you can tell. And it's like, it's not often that you look at Nimoy and go, "You're not trying." And it's like, I can't even blame him.
No, was this feels like it was another version of the Final Frontier. Like this kind of like they should have been all challenging their inner demons or some sort of thing like that. But
Final Frontier is better than this,
dude.
And that is
Frontier's
a
good.
Yeah.
Final Frontier's good. I like it. All right, Stars. Last time you and I watched it, you even agreed it was much better than.
Yeah, it has a lot of good parts. It's not a good whole. I shouldn't. Have said
we would rather discuss Final Frontier than this.
Yeah,
I would actually, because like Final Frontier is stuff you can talk about. There's actual like.
All right, I want to get to Latent Image. My bread. I'm not even going to try to be original. That's the only thing you think about is the kids going like that. So that's my bread.
My bread will be Shatner in the turbo lift, and that'll be bread. Okay,
I'm losing control. I've lost control. I've got control again.
Yeah. So put that in the text to speech. Could be funny. All right, let's go for our.
The best advice I can give you is to just be yourself.
You're the worst thing that ever happened to Zek. You're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Actually, that's the second best piece of advice.
In fact, you're the worst thing that ever happened to the entire Ferengi Alliance. No. Just stop saying.
I need to put that over like 2001: The Space Odyssey when the monkeys are all going.
You really do. It's perfect.
It's like
that is the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't it say so much about how much better that episode of DS9 is? Like, all I had to hear was like Rom's voice, and I just started smiling, and then I started thinking about what the episode we're actually talking about. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but that's it's good like palate cleanser. The palate cleanser. Oh, hang on. Is it gonna work?
And now, word from our sponsor.
Good attempt, Namer. Good attempt. Okay. Best worst moments. I'm gonna start this time. My best moment is definitely the start with McCoy and Shatner and Kirk. I keep calling it Shatner. Kirk and Spock going over a little bit of developed mental health approach to how these children should be coping with the death of their parents. And
it lasted throughout the entire episode. It was very consistently treated. Yeah, exactly. And a good lead in. I will claim that for my best. I'm going to go for my worst, which is the entire rest of the episode. And that is it. The entire rest of the episode.
No.
No?
No, we're not going to let you off that easy. Pick something. There's no excuse to not pick something in this episode of all episodes.
In which case, it is definitely Kirk beaming two people into space without actually checking anything. Any reference. Not checking that one unnamed ensign who's just turned up on the first day and hasn't even looked out the window. That's my worst moment.
That might have been my best, actually, but you're right.
Go on, Otto, then. What is your best worst?
All right. My best moment, and I did find one in this episode. Ooh. There's a shot when the kids are in the quarters summoning the Gorgon, and you have the camera in the middle of the ring of children, and they go from child to child as they're chanting, and it was reminiscent of that 70s show where they're all sitting around and they do the, that camera whip. So that was something like fun directorially. The worst was Shatner in the, I almost said elevator, in the turbo lift. Bad writing, bad acting, and a huge plot hole as to why he self-mind melds around Spock's neck to break the thing by himself instead of Spock doing what he just did 2 seconds earlier to break his own mental fixation. So terrible, terrible scene. Stars.
My worst moment just has to be everything to do with the Gorgon. It's just, there's no introduction for his name, bad continuity. There's no real explanation or exploration of his species. the actor is the single worst actor that's ever been on Star Trek.
Yeah.
There is no.
you're
You
probably
cannot
right.
convince me
Yeah,
there's
I
a single.
understand.
Every
there's no
single
one worse.
child was better than him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Even with the fake tears running down
every
his face.
every random red shirt that you'll ever see in an episode of Star Trek was a better actor than him. Just ill-considered, ill-conceived, ill-cast, ill-written, ill-directed. Everything was wrong.
We're just ill right now.
May God have mercy on your soul. And I award you no points. Best moment? Fuck me.
Will you use your mulligan, your get out of jail free card on this episode?
No, there might be something else down the line. I have to think of something.
I don't know. I don't think I can think of a worse episode.
There isn't.
Even freaking you shall have no vaccine and no Lieutenant Yar. You found some
Dude, that's so much better. Memorable. There was one or two good acting jobs.
If you want to take it, you can take it.
No, I'm not going to be weak.
No, he's got 99 potions. He's not going to use a single one.
He's hoarding, yeah.
I'm going to go to that final boss. I'm going to go to that final boss. And I'm going to be ready. There's got to be something. There's got to be something redeemable in this. That's a lie. There isn't, but there's got to be something at least worthwhile.
I'm calling the clock on you.
The Arboretum?
No, come on, God mercy. No, there's something.
The problem with Stars' brain is that he is
so young.
Best moment is Stans or Stans, whatever his name is.
Who? Stans? Huh?
The father of the oldest kid of Tommy.
Oh, the recordings. Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, he does a halfway decent job. Guess what? Like, I'm appreciating anyone who's doing a better acting job than the lawyer. I appreciate a good apocalyptic log.
Oh.
I didn't quite understand where he was recording from or how he was selfie cam recording with his tricorder, but he at least like tried to sell increasing anxiety. And you know what? I'm gonna go one better. There's a second best moment in this episode.
Whoa, what a flex.
I actually kind of liked Shatner's acting when they go into the cave on Triacus. When he's like trying to sell the anxiety. Like a little bit. Just
good?
I didn't think it was good, but I thought it was interesting. Just to like I like that concept of in horror.
My best moment. I didn't think it was good.
No, but it's at least like something you don't get to see from from Shatner or Kirk very often. It's just like
Thank God.
I can't explain it very often. I can't explain what I'm feeling, but it's just an instinctive revulsion. Like I appreciate that in horror and horror.
So in fact,
you talking about this episode or what he said in the episode?
Yeah, that's why it's the best moment because it aptly summed up my feelings toward the episode. There you go. Thank you for leaving me.
In fact, your best moment was your worst moment.
The worst moment's still the Gorgon.
I said while we were watching this, scientist sells anxiety better than Kirk did in the cave because he does. I thought he did a real bad job of it, but we're all entitled to our opinion.
Right,
it is not so much his acting; it's more just the moment as a concept.
Okay,
I guess.
Dan says they had the right to take on coconut ice cream. F tier. No, coconut ice cream's nice. I like coconut ice cream.
Wait, didn't we tier this in Butterzone?
I think we did do coconut.
We might have done.
I think we did.
Coconut was
we did
on
a
there.
lot of ice creams. Anyway, but it's time for.
I can show you my rating code.
Schiller rating 3.5. Associational rating norm -3.
That's much too low a rating.
That's much too low a rating.
Seeing an unsatisfactory rating on a member of my crew.
Do you want to see my rating code? Anyway, Stars, please show me your rating code. What is our criteria for this? And I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a list of expletives.
Gentlemen, how many plot critical home videos of traumatized children's dead parents would you like to give this episode?
Do you know, at some point in the future, I'm gonna do a quiz for you guys of like, you know, which rating criteria
identify.
matches
I
the
think that'd
episode.
be great.
No, I'm
that'd
waiting
be
till
really
we get to
fun.
like 100. We're approaching 60 soon, but I'm waiting till we get to 100, and then we'll do that. And I feel like this one is going to be like one of the most obvious ones, but there are some good ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Auto, what would you give How many
All right, so
plot critical home videos of children's dead parents would you give this video? This
So
episode?
we all managed to dredge up a positive for this episode, but I keep thinking about something Shai said when we reviewed Strange New Worlds Under the Cloak of War. He said, this episode isn't perfect, but the quality of the quality is so high that it actually is perfect. Like the good moments, and there were so many, were so good, it doesn't even matter if there were a few flaws. It's like this with the episode. We found a few good moments, but the quality of the quality is so low that it just plasters over anything positive to buoy this up. It is a pure zero. It is the worst episode of Star Trek ever produced. Zero plot critical home videos of traumatized kids' dead parents out of 10.
Thank you.
Stars.
So in the past, I have given negative ratings. And I think my logic for those was relatively sound. And it was because I believe that they actually damaged the texture of Star Trek and like made Star Trek as a whole worse. And were just generally unpleasant and racist. I think because it was Code of Honor, I think I'm getting it. I don't think I've given it to anything else. This episode is not bad enough in the conventional sense to warrant a negative rating. Because that would imply that I think about this episode. That would imply that this episode has like cultural impact. That would imply that this episode is memorable. That would imply that there's anything worth taking away from it. That would imply that anyone looks back on a day they spent making this and thought, yeah, I had a really good day working on that. This is a 0 out of 10. There are no redeeming qualities. If someone said, I want to watch every episode of Star Trek, I'd be like, that is a foolhardy endeavor. You should skip and the children should lead at the bare minimum. You will not lose anything. In fact, you will gain 50 minutes of your life back and you will thank me. 0 plot critical home videos of traumatized children's dead parents. 0.
So I said recently, it might have been for an Andromeda, like, it's so easy. If something's racist or sexist or like outrageously bad, you can say, oh, like, that should never be on TV. And I feel like that's almost a crutch. This doesn't have any like offensive moments. It's just so borderline baseline bad in every aspect. So I almost think that's worse than having like a sexist moment or something.
So I pre-rated
this. It's just pure incompetence, yeah.
So I pre-rated this an optimistic 1. You guys accurately pre-rated it a level 0. I am also going to go with a 0 and echo many of the comments you guys have said, in that this the thing that got me when I was watching it is just like, what is even going on? Like you know, like you said, Stars, like the episode evaporates from your brain as you watch it, because all you remember is you remember that, for podcast listeners, the hand action, and. You remember the Gorgon.
The hand action.
Yes, exactly. And nothing else, because nothing else really happens. There isn't any apart from Kirk beaming some people into space. But for the sense of it, there's just a lot of just like confusion and plot nonsensical things going on, which makes me wonder, like, when you're sitting around the writer's room and they're trying to construct this episode, which they did do back then. They constructed episodes that had a beginning, a middle, an end. This is the only episode I can describe that had nothing but middle. There was just middle all the way through. They did the beginning, middle, and end right at the beginning, when they went down to a planet full of dead people and went, oh, right, they're dead. Oh, the children are traumatized. Okay, cool. Let's beam them back up. Credits roll. And then that's it. But somehow they went, oh, shit, yeah, we've got another 35 minutes. Let's do something with the kids. Oh, no, I don't know how to write. I guess I'll go over and write for Charlie's Angels.
No,
so I am,
hang on. No, it's not just a case of I can't write. It's also
I can't read.
Yeah, yes. This was a mishbrief from from an abandoned Confederation colony somewhere.
There were a couple lines in here where you could tell they were trying to like make a point to something. Spock says, "They're followers. Without followers, evil cannot spread." And every time they hit one of those like high sensibility lines, I was borderline offended. I'm like, don't even pretend.
Yeah, don't try.
Like, this episode is a carrier for any kind of moral message.
Yeah,
yeah, it's so gross.
It's not about anything. It's not about anything.
No. And like, it's not as if like Star Trek has had
guys, we made it through. We made it through, guys.
It's not.
Did it!
All right, stop talking. So it's a 0. So guys, if you all rate it a 0, then the average. I don't know what. I even just scrolled over and checked the average to check my spreadsheet had broken. It is in fact a
hold
0.
On. Chat did give it a 3.9. So
I'm sorry, I'm striking that from the record.
I am indeed. So I haven't even got chat's equation on this. So this is in fact the 3rd lowest episode of Star Trek we've ever watched. Hey, big points if you can guess the other 2 episodes.
My hatred for stars grows because there's no way this should be the 3rd worst.
It is.
You've sabotaged our entire rating system by not putting it slower.
To be fair, all right.
I created the system. I can destroy it.
I mean, you guys know Justice and Code of Honor are the ones below. But can you guys tell me what is the episode that beats it?
You mean directly above?
Directly above A Children Shall Lead.
Have we done The Passenger yet?
We haven't done The Passenger.
No.
That is actually next chronology on the DS9 one. It stands at 0.7, and I'll tell you, it was you, me, and Racing Liners that reviewed it.
Oh, never mind.
It's an Enterprise episode?
It is not an Enterprise episode. But we did it.
I was going to say Lonely Among Us because that was
not Lonely Among Us. Lonely
absurd.
Among Us is actually the one above that. Actually.
Is it fuck? What's the Ferengi episode? What's it called again? I forget.
You're on it.
Energy Whips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Actually, I like that episode, so I'm going to go add my rating. We'll bump that up.
You are correct. It was the last outpost. The last outpost
there
was
we
0.7. Yeah, there you are.
Let's move on.
Dan got it. No, okay. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you are watching on stream, stick about. We are going to actually watch some decent Star Trek for a change. We're going to watch some Latent Image from Star Trek Voyager. And if you're watching on YouTube, please come back in a couple of weeks and we'll be reviewing Latent Image. But from us and from now, live long and prosper, and ta-ra!
We did it.
We did it. Okay.
We've managed to avoid drowning.
Oh boy. Are not as many off-color jokes as I was hoping to make, but we got there. Okay.
I know, we did I think we got that.
That was contextual to the episode. Okay, who would like to watch?
Did you try to shoehorn children into every conversation about that episode?
I was being...
Dan, you should have rested the first half and showed up for the... All right.
Love you, Dan.
Love you, buddy. Feel better.
His priorities are strange. Have a go, man. Hope you feel better.
Yeah. All right, let's watch a trailer, shall we? Let's watch a trailer for Latent Image.
Hold on, I need another beer.
That's a good idea. I could do with a wheat. And actually, I have also run out of beer. Stars, you have monologue moment. This is your SNL monologue. Go.
Oh my god. All right, see, I picked this episode. Latent Image is a really, really good dark episode, but it also just... It's so much more thoughtful on hologram rights and the nature of technology as a sentient being than I think a lot of, especially Voyager was. I think Author is it's a conceptually strong episode, and the first half is really, really good, and then it takes a nice hard left turn. It's something similar but adjacent, and it doesn't quite gel together. It's two halves of two different, definitely good episodes. This is just harrowing. And I have a thing for media that deals with issues of memory, of loss, memory loss, as it happens. Like the form of memory as a way of conceptualizing the self, the way that we are the sum of our experiences. I love medical ethics. This is kind of an episode for me. So that's why I picked us to go straight ahead and jump into it. And it's really, really funny because I suggested it like kind of offhand. And then also reminded me, oh yeah, season 5 of Voyager may well be one of those best seasons of like Voyager ever. Because if you guys haven't like looked at season 5 of Voyager, it goes Night, which is an amazing episode, Drone, which is amazing, Extreme Risk, which is incredible, In the Flesh is damn good, Once Upon a Time is meh.
Are you spoiling what's coming up?
I'm doing a little bit of groundswell. Don't worry about it. Infinite Regress is excellent. Nothing Human is incredible. 30 Days, we'll have a conversation about that one. Counterpoint is right before this, and then there's so much good stuff after it. Like, season 5 of Voyager is fucking lit, fam. Fucking lit.
So I think that's the plan. If we can spoil that now, going
yeah.
forward, we wanted to do
Summer of Voyager.
We wanted to do season 5 in order, Summer of Voyager, and then we'll probably go back to jumping around. But
hell yeah,
we've earned some good Trek.
We have earned some very good Trek. Actually, yeah, we did the visit the other week, and that felt good. Absorb it.
I watched that while I was very, very ill, and I was like, getting to listen to you guys and like chat like that was really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, are we ready for a trailer for Latent Image? Let's go. Actually, hang on. Let me just make sure I'm piping it through.
Yeah, how are they going to sell this? I'm curious.
Okay, here we go.
A mission in distress.
We're under attack. I've got wounded. Mayday.
A medical crisis.
Make a choice before we lose them both.
A doctor on the edge.
They're conspiring.
Oh my god!
All of you. Now, the only course of action.
You're malfunctioning, and you need to be repaired.
To end his trauma.
You're going to rewrite my program. I'm sorry.
Is a fate worse than death.
How do we choose this?
Leave me alone. Let me go.
On the next Star Trek Voyager.
You gotta remember, this is the early 2000s. Like, that was like multimedia.
Dude, that club music was banging,
Let's
man.
just go for that again.
We lose them both.
A doctor on the edge.
They're conspiring against me. All of you.
Now, the only course of action.
You're
All right.
Fuck me! God, no! I feel like I'm watching Blade. What the fuck?
Yes, that's exactly it. That was Blade, yeah. It's probably the same year, wasn't it? Wow.
Dan, come back.
A doctor on the edge.
They're conspiring against me. All of you.
Oh, dear.
Oh. Okay. So I have to ask. Go on.
One more time, Idle, please.
All right.
Now, the only course of action.
You're malfunctioning, and you need to be repaired.
To end his.
Captain Picard and you Enterprise. Oh
my god.
Trailers, man.
It just reminds you of that Planet of the Base song. Have you heard that?
It's the no planet on base. Yeah. So bear in mind, right? Okay. If you were to judge this purely by the trailer, I'm going to add that little caveat to this pre-rating. If you were to judge that, and bearing in mind you've watched this and you know what this episode's about, but purely by that trailer, what do you think this is? I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I like how they modulate between minor and major.
Let me go! On the next Star Trek Voyager.
Alright, we gotta take this seriously.
He says it with a bit more stank. He's like, on the neck. Now, let me play that again. Let's listen.
Star Trek Voyager.
Oh no, you
gotta
go back to
Leave me alone. Let me go.
On the next Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, yeah. Down for that nasty shit.
If I had to judge this based on purely the trailer, I would guess this is like some kind of Total Recall spoof or something. Like,
oh no, the sixth day. That would be like that was the other
Sixth Day, or
quite like the Sixth Day.
A bit of True Lies, maybe something Schwarzenegger-y. I would not expect that it is what it is. Oh my god!
The only course of action.
Fuck me.
All right, someone give me a rating.
Based on that trailer, I'd give it a 3 because it is the most tonally discordant trailer I've ever seen in my life. But I would probably expect a lot of laughter, so 3.
I'm going to give it the honest rating based on what I know the episode to be and what I remember it to be like. I'm going to give it a 9.
You go for a 9. I get this episode confused with the one where he.
No, you got to base it on the trailer, Idol.
That's true.
That's
I
your
do have to
rule.
base it on the trailer. I'm feeling hidden depths here. I'm feeling like, despite its action orientated, like my producer has just watched The Matrix and heard about these guys called the Chemical Brothers, and we're just going to interject this into everything. let's go for it. I'll go for a 6, but I feel dirty writing that because I know this episode is so much better than that.
Can we watch the trailer one more time before we start?
Let me pipe it through the stream one more time. Press some buttons. Okay, here we go. Because it starts off quite tame, and it just gets in.
A mission in distress.
We're under attack. I've got wounded. Mayday.
A medical crisis.
Make a choice before we lose them both.
A doctor on the edge.
We're conspiring against all of you.
Now, the only course of action.
You're malfunctioning, and you need to be repaired.
To end his trauma.
You're going to rewrite my program.
I'm sorry. Is a fate worse than death.
I didn't choose this. Leave me alone. Let me go!
On the next Star Trek Voyager.
I just love that because there's yeah, you're right. There's that dum, and then in the background there's like,
he's like, you're conspiring.
I have to imagine that was publicly available, that was free to use. There is no way that they got someone to compose that for
that
a
is the
Hans Zimmer composed that.
Apple vocals I've ever heard.
To be repaired.
To end his...
Yeah, that's someone on a soft synth keyboard going, no, wait, this sounds like real people. I've got this saxophone that sounds good as well. Listen to this. Someone on a DJ booth and like in middle Bristol just going, yeah, man, it's fucking banging, innit?
Oh my god.
Dude, if you could isolate the audio for that without the vocals or without the dialogue.
Okay,
we need to use
can
that
we
for our
get
award
that?
show this year.
We need that as an intro or for a segment or a show. There's no way we're getting a copyright struck for that. Come on.
Give me.
No one would claim that they own that.
Yeah, for real.
No one wants to come forward and say, that's my property.
I need to find, where's my tool? I have a tool for this. It won't take me long to do. What's it called? Oh shit, what's it called? Vocal.
No, we better do it later. We already spent way too long on the show lead.
I'll work on it while we're watching it. Okay, let's go for. So spool up your DVD players, your Blu-ray drives, your copies of Paramount Plus. Even though Paramount Plus has lost some Star Trek recently, it is no longer the home of Star Trek. Please boot them up anyway. We're going to watch season 5, episode 11. Latent image. Let me just check. I am not piping through the audio, so we don't get copyright struck for the stuff that actually matters. Right, here we go. So we are beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pump up the jam.
Dude, the same music starts when we lose it.
Yeah. Take it back now, y'all. 1 hop this time.
It's just a jump to the left.
Oh, it's because she's little. No, it'll just steal your soul.
Minus 1 point. Worse than Wesley.
What,
she
Naomi?
is
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Naomi Wildman.
I like how he's programmed to have no patience. He's just exasperated right away.
I mean, that's the way the Zimmerman was, so I believe it.
Holographic headaches.
Yeah, nah. Why am I programmed to feel like this? Yeah, butter wouldn't melt.
God, this feels like normal. You know,
Yeah,
after the last
I remember watching this on telly and being like, wow, this is cool shit.
Yeah, this is really, really actually quite impressive.
Yeah.
It's just his blank stare. I love it. That's also cool.
Mm-hmm.
I always watch Kim in the background during this to see his acting because like what the twist is.
Yeah, and you'd have to. Yeah, like he's actually doing some decent work here.
I'd like to watch everyone around Doc to see how they react or don't react.
Yeah. Guess what? Any Picardo-led episode is always gonna be Voyager. Like,
Great. And by the way, a lot of good moments of suspense, like between the slowly reforming the body, when you see someone come in and like the silhouette and they delete the evidence, and
yeah, that's a really, really good bit.
and then they reconstitute who did it later, like by the same method. There's a lot of good like tension building moments.
There's just a nice amount of like theater to it, which I appreciate. And I also appreciate that like Picardo didn't overact that like thing. I was like, the line would be so easy to make it like, Shatner-esque. I don't remember performing it, and he was just kind of like off kilter and like he underplayed it a little bit, which I appreciate. Underrated 7 episode as well. She gets a lot of good stuff to do in this episode, but she doesn't overpower it.
Still best intro.
It's up there. It's pretty good. I know. I still think you're too harsh on the Strange New Worlds one. Idol.
Nice.
Does it make it better?
We need to do a night at the Roxbury of us with this song.
I don't know if that was coming through the stream. I think it was.
Oh. We definitely have to make that into like the intro for What the Dub or something.
If I can find an AI voice of Don LaFontaine, then yeah, we're there.
Dude, we got Dandy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dan LaFontaine.
Latent.
Latency.
She's immediate. She's pre-annoyed.
Yeah.
I love it. Bouncing between. Cranial infrastructure. I think I had this one memorized. That's a relief.
Say the line, Bart.
I like how her mouth has to be open for this.
How many fine instruments out of 10 would you give this?
Yeah, look at Mulgrew.
This is so invasive, by the way.
Yeah, for real. He didn't do this with anyone else.
Yeah, he's
really?
Just
You're gonna do
her.
the reflexes? Like
the funny thing is, he's grabbing her throat. She's talking. She's like, "Well, no, I'll sing."
Kathy Hepburn.
Get fucked.
Dude, everyone immediately rebuffs him. I love it.
Time to do the Wounded Gazelle Gambit.
Hey, it fucking works. Look at all the sympathy from 7.
Okay, now he's being a bit dramatic. But to be fair, the dog's allowed to be dramatic.
Part of that's also the camera work.
Yeah, true.
A zoom and then a swivel. She has better bedside manner than Doc. Like, she puts aside what she's doing, focuses on him, and then...
Yeah. And she's meant to be the antisocial one, yeah.
Compromise, yeah. Don't forget to turn off the program when you leave.
I like how quickly it gets into it.
Yeah. I mean, it is 8 minutes, but they started it almost in the first scene, actually.
Yeah.
It's good that there's large blocks missing visually.
Yeah, no, someone didn't finish their game of Tetris.
Yeah, that whole line is supposed to disappear when they fill in the block. Shutterbug.
Oh, this is a great sequence as well. I love it when they do the holodeck for like investigation purposes, like that whole bit in TNG when they do the group recollection.
Is that the one?
I think it's
the one where the
it's-
writer has a bit of a bad night, or
The one where Tuvok attacked people in the while they're watching the movie, and then he recreates his own attack. That was really good.
Yeah. Like the holodeck is just such a good narrative like tool for this. You can do a lot of fun things with it. And that one with Geordie where he's turning into a weird like thing, and then there's like
that
the
one
shadow.
actually makes you uncomfortable. Yeah, with the shadow.
Yeah.
get ready for the green screen.
It's also kind of, I wonder how much they planned this, but it's cool that the person helping him wasn't around when Jatal was, so she's also left out of the loop.
I think that's intentional, yeah, so that like that he has an accomplice.
Well, I mean, it's just smart storytelling. She's the only one that could do it because she wasn't there to be in on the conspiracy in the first place.
Yeah.
And then it helps that she wouldn't recognize it, and so... That's a Magog.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
There's a
I mean, it's of higher quality than Magog makeup, but you know.
Ambient lighting here.
Yeah, no, you got that bit of mood. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
That's over the top. Yeah.
Memento.
See, that's good camera work there.
Mm-hmm.
This is like Crisis levels of bloom.
Wow, Crisis.
Who even talks about Crisis anymore?
This is like the same time period, wasn't it?
No.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong actually.
Crisis
yeah.
is a lot later. Crisis is like 2006, 5-ish.
Well, Namer, I think the intimation is because Janeway is the one who did it. She encrypted her deletion, so...
Yeah, no, given who did it, it makes total sense that they wouldn't be able to recall that information.
Oh, tri-beams? Look at that. It's a sequel.
Look at that. He knows how to use wide beam.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone else?
This is a good use of tight shot.
Yeah.
Like
you can say a lot about 4-3, but there are some times where you just want the face.
I love the look shared between them.
Be interesting if we were watching this for the first time, though. Like,
oh yeah, no, the first time through, this is a completely different episode.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you're doing. We probably should have prefaced this with don't watch this alongside your first time watching the episode.
Oh yeah, shit. 7 isn't in on it. Fuck.
Yeah, shit. Like Mulgrew is doing a lot of really good work right now.
Goddamn, Mulgrew is so good. Just to having that spiel to go off. Like, she gets the mission assignment here.
Mission brief.
Can we stop with the Andromeda?
There, see that little glance is kind of the
Yeah.
first time where the viewers let in that they know something.
I guess what I don't know if they'd worked before, but like together. But like Mulgrew and Russ just have really good chemistry with each other. They just
They're
work.
both fucking awesome actors.
Yeah, they're professionals. Yeah.
All right, who directed this?
We'll
Mike
out in the review.
Vijar. Oh, he did 31 other.
He's done a lot, yeah.
Actually, not a lot of really great ones, but
There's some good stuff in there.
see, a smart protagonist. I love that too.
Mm-hmm.
Also, turn off the flashing lights to not give me away. Computer. All right, this. I love the dissolve, by the way, to show passage of time.
Yeah, you're right. That's clever.
Oh yeah, this is also a really, really good shot.
Like if
it's
they
very,
just did
very-
a cut, if they just did a cut, you may not get that there was.
Yeah, that's good. Oh my
Dude,
god, the
this is
reflection
so
of the
good.
doors. Yeah. The soft
Yeah,
focus,
yeah.
That's really good, actually.
There's sauce here, man. It's really well done.
Yeah. Just eating it up.
Okay, could you not do that when you're in subterfuge mode?
But don't they have cameras everywhere anyway? Man.
No,
Yeah.
no, they never do because otherwise Odo would have been like checking everyone's memory feeds every time. And I love that it takes a moment. Like it does it step by step as he told it to do it.
There it is.
Good music as well.
Mm.
Orger has good ambient music, especially in their trailers.
Yeah, here we go.
It was the boogeyman.
Suspense. This is great.
The tension
suspense.
she builds.
And they reveal the uniform first, so you see
Yeah.
red. You're like, is it Chakotay? Is it
No,
Tom? And then,
your first thought is Tom Paris. Actually, where the fuck's Chakotay? We haven't seen him yet.
yeah, who cares?
He's not doing other things. Sorry about it.
Oh, there he is. There we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Another good scene. Slice of life.
Okay, can I see Tuvok sumo wrestling, please?
Ah. There's some like Mulgrew's look here.
Yeah.
No, can we talk about this
It's
sumo
slow.
wrestling dialogue right now? Oh shit!
This one.
Oh, oh.
Tears the room as she looks across.
Mmm.
Oh, A2.
Yeah, but the fuck are you going to do, Tuvok? He's a hologram.
We can just turn him off.
She's like, I have my coffee. Oh.
If there was ever a
So
scenario
good.
for Picardo's over the top to be appropriate, it's this.
I love that. That he's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I was also ready.
Sorry. I am still recovering from in my ready room. Like, just dark.
I like when they look back and forth into the eyes.
Learn to live with it.
Good point.
Name it. You're not wrong.
Namer's like, yeah, she's gonna Tuvix him. She's killed without remorse before. You're nothing to her.
She'll decompile the fuck out of you.
We've got Andy Dick somewhere on the other program. It's fine.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, God, no. Not him.
That's the nuclear option.
Yeah.
I love this little scene too. Like, dude, how brutal that must be for him to sit there knowing he's about to lose everything.
Well, they're sending the heavies.
So what's with the bar on Chakotay instead of the pips?
It's like non-com.
It's meant to be provisional rank. Yeah.
Non-commissioned.
Oh, okay.
Taurus has it as well.
Yeah. Any marquee member usually has it. Straight edge, Tom. Like, he can nail it.
Yeah, the reason this works is at the very core of this, the idea can be seen from both sides equally, and that makes it so compelling. No one can blame Janeway for doing it.
Yeah, no, it makes total absolute sense. And it's
no
a
one can
story you
blame
can
Seven
only...
for...
Oh, yeah. And it's also because you can only do this on Voyager. It's the only way you can justify doing this.
Yeah, could you do this with Data?
You could do it with Data,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Geordi has to reprogram him. I love how she doesn't take any bullshit from Janeway.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It looks like that way you kind of believe that, yeah, Mulgrew was being a bit of an asshole to her.
I don't know, but it works. It works for like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the charge is really, really strong. Yeah.
It's nice.
Oh, I love this little speech.
It's so good.
Although I feel like this works better in the early seasons before everyone recognizes Doc as a full-fledged member of the crew.
I feel it's kind of a little bit of bullshit just to say, look, he's just a program at this point.
Well, I mean, I think it's more a case of, as the way she's looking at it, is he is a different form of life, and you have to respect his autonomy while also not like pretending that he is human, because he's not. He is still a hologram, and you have to accommodate that.
I mean, I just watched Offspring, which was season 3, and even at that point, Picard's like, Data has rights. I know, I helped define them. So even by season 3, he's like, no, he's a completely autonomous form of life. We can't fuck with him. We have to give him the same rights.
I think like it's easier with Data though, because he is a unique, one of a kind thing, whereas like holograms are ubiquitous by this point in the setting.
Can you imagine this with Bujold?
Ugh.
I haven't seen enough of her to know, really.
I haven't seen any of her other than the leaked
yeah.
pilot. Yes, but Seven, you're hot. It's a whole lot of difference.
Had to get that last word in.
Yeah, mic drop.
Yeah, and Janeway let her because part of her knows.
Shit, this is wrong.
Part of her feels the exact same way. She's not heartless.
Yeah.
Oh, another good shot. He's like in purgatory right now, waiting for sentencing. Or waiting for execution, I guess.
But it's yeah.
Oh, this
it's
scene's
weird, 'cause
awesome.
It is, but it isn't. Like it's
Well, for him, it may as well be.
It's almost like fuck. Like how many times has she done this?
Yeah,
That's
they don't really.
My brain keeps going to the Matrix or the cycles of the one, but it's not that. There's something else. So like, how many times have we gone through this loop of like erasing you?
A Ton of Sunshine.
Yeah,
is what you're thinking of.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, you mean as a conceit in general?
Just as a kind of like, over the last, 18 months, you may have wiped him like 3 or 4 times.
Oh.
And they've had this exact same discussion several
No,
times.
I think after 2 or 3, they probably would have been more firm on not redoing it.
Oh, there's Neelix.
I love how the audio's off.
That's
So you can,
good. That's good.
you can
That's
tell.
fun. It's cute.
She kind of looks a bit like Ilea.
A little bit.
Why is Tuvok presenting a cake? That's Kim's casual wear there.
You know, I kind of like it.
Oh,
It's
he
Paris
going to
as
a
well.
wedding? What's going on? Why is he dressed like that, but no one else is?
Paris is as well.
Oh, have we just noticed that those chairs are on sliders? They slide like up and down.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, look, because Kim can slide up and down to the different.
Yeah, no,
consoles.
that's really cool.
Really
actually.
cool. Sorry, I'm more excited about that than I should be.
He's still taking pictures.
Yeah.
What a goof. I thought he was gonna cock the phaser shotgun
Yeah, right.
right into space. I love it. No, he does say send him back to his ship, I think, but
Yeah, and I think Kim even says you should
Not
have.
on the Kirk, yeah.
It's weird
Good
that we had
makeup.
2 episodes and then yeah, that looks painful.
Mm-hmm.
Ketchup packets on the floor.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, okay. You've been reading
Good
the old mission
foreshadowing,
logs,
though.
haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Cavalry.
Ta-da!
Don't get to see that very often, that kind of perspective.
The nacelles are going. I
Couldn't it
do
be
like
just
how
under the biobeds?
they change the orientation of the transporter beam if they're laying down. That's funny.
Mm. Oh, look, all these medical personnel who disappear and reappear as needed.
Oh, yeah. Scientists at the weekend.
Yeah.
Isn't a hologram strong enough to pick him up himself?
Yeah, that's the point. We never
I
find
think
out how
he's-
strong he is. Like,
Well, I think he's always set the baseline human strength, but you can change it, like, you know how he changes the photon field, like, density, so that we can slap him or not.
We cut to Kirk going, "Let them die." So this is supposed to be like the more actiony part of the episode, but I actually found myself losing interest versus the philosophic debate
Mm.
scenes.
But it's got to set up the actual
Yeah,
conflict.
it's necessary, but I just
It's not as compelling, yeah. I think part of it is that it's meant to be very relatively routine until this point.
that's good. Tom definitely has his moments.
Mm.
oh yeah, once
Like,
he
I think
got out
Robert
of the
Duncan
season,
McNeil is very, yeah.
yeah.
I
Once he
would
got
have
out of
liked to
season
have
1 and
seen
2
Kess
series.
in this role
Mm.
because chronologically, Kess was still on the ship at this point.
No, season 5. No, she was
According to Memory Alpha. No, because this is a flashback.
Oh, of course, yeah, season 3, yeah, of course.
Medical tricorder.
Medical
beam.
There's something really brutal about her just dying alone on the bed like that.
I actually like that better than the trope of someone like doing chest compressions long after she's already flatlined.
Yeah.
Like, they have no medical staff other than the Doctor and Tom.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Hey, kitty.
All right, hit him with the good shit, Balana.
Yeah, no, we this was the tee up. Yeah, this scene fucks with me. This is brutal. Oh no, not this one, the one after it.
Oh, you mean mess hall?
Mess hall, yeah.
Slow-mo is a little odd there. I know they're
It's a
going
little bit
for
out of place. Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
great vest.
Mm.
Serious Neelix.
Yeah, no, Ethan Phillips is doing it.
That was the appropriate pause length before.
Mm.
Do we take the guest actor or the main cast character?
Yeah, for real.
That's why they're red and gold. The red shirt is expendable.
I like that, like, you can see Neelix just like, he's like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't know how far a Starfleet hologram will go off the deep end.
Mm.
No, just murder the crew and use their corpses for skin.
He's fucking terrified right now.
Yeah.
It's almost Twilight Zone-esque.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Good music. And this is a long stretch of music, but it works.
They're very much getting Bilbo Baggins holding the ring moment there.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
shouldn't I keep it?
Yeah, now think of the trailer music, yeah.
I mean, he works at Ops, if that makes you feel any better. I love Balana here.
Yeah.
I love they remove him and then they have her walk into place, so subconsciously you think, okay, he's not there anymore. Good effects.
So young.
I mean, what would you call a soul, Balana? So this is a Wendy's. Yeah, it's a pretty accurate response to that bit in the best hole. I've had to deal with people at work at that level of intensity.
And you tell them, you had a choice. Do I not do something rude or do I do something rude?
Yeah, exactly.
What you doing? Watching you sleep.
Asshole captain pulling rank while she's trying to sleep.
Yeah, for real. Something about like the very 90s recliner.
Yeah.
It's okay, but the armrest needs to be higher. Feels all back, no arms.
Like me.
You're a real backy peg.
Welcome to the gun show.
I would have loved if that was like a graphic novel instead of a book.
She's just reading Watchmen. The 17 varieties of tomato soup.
Yeah. Damn it. Beat me to it.
Yeah, I don't like that cliche line.
No, I like it. It's fun.
I've streamed longer marathons than this.
I'm watching all the Seinfeld.
Yeah. I've nearly finished One Piece.
Pippi Longstocking.
So those 2 a.m. questions, like, what do you do?
Yeah. And then he passes the bong. You're doing a great job too. She does look properly haggard there.
Yeah.
I kind of love how Voyager's holodeck is just literally like strands of like why you think could make a signal as opposed to like the yellow, just sort of lines.
It looks like antenna, yeah.
Yeah,
Or like,
it's not masking tape.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think antenna's the right word.
Well, it's on the floor, but no, call Harry.
He's the one.
Here's the phone. Call somebody that cares.
Harry's on night shift, right?
Plays clarinet.
He's like, yeah, he does the command night shift. Yeah.
Single French horn. DS9. Suck it.
He's like, this isn't poetry. This is pornographic. What are you reading?
She's reading hentai.
Reading, yeah, okay.
It's just only on page 1.
Strings. I don't see anything attributing the score or music.
It's pretty good. Did good work.
Ba, ba, ba,
That was a cheery episode.
A curious.
Oh, Paul Belargian. Dude, I love him. He did Siege of AR 558.
Oh, nice.
He's done a lot of DS9 stuff.
You know, that's
why the French
no
horn.
one else will remember that person's name.
What was his
Dude,
name?
that's
sorry?
where the French horns come from. It's on screen right now.
No, it's on screen
Paul
right now. Can you
Belargian.
say it the exact way you just said it?
Paul Belargian.
No. With the exact inflection you said it. Populagia.
Why? Oh, I'm excited to see. He's a really good
that's
composer.
fine. I just love that outburst. Okay. Oh, I need to turn the time code off. Let's do that. We don't do the funny thing anymore. We don't do the whole someone says something funny. I just come straight in now. And it's just like, this is the problem with these series
This is a
episodes.
serious enough episode.
I know.
Like,
depressed.
The serious episodes, I can't just come and you say something. I go, hey, welcome everyone to Star Trek Trek, our ongoing journey.
Hey, someone's dead.
Hey, someone's dead. We don't know who.
Everyone.
And our ongoing journey through the episodes. Star Trek, we have now just watched Star Trek's Voyager's latest...
Through Star Trek, that was the most perfunctory introduction you've ever done.
Just trying to overcome the tidal wave of your guys' reactions. No, we've just watched Latent Image, the 11th episode to season 5 from Voyager, and a bit of a ethical dilemma to the rights of an individual. I find this episode kind of treads on the same lines that Data does in a very different way. Guys, give me your thoughts on it, please. Disregarding... Oh, hang on. No, sorry. Disregarding the trailer music, which was very good, which was very... Get ready for it. Oh, sorry, that wasn't coming through the stream. Anyway... Let me play that again. Let me play that again for the stream. Sorry, here we go.
Better with Don LaFontaine over it.
Anyway.
It was better with the narration talking about how Doc's life is in jeopardy, and then the club music comes in. It's like...
It's like putting Mona Lisa Overdrive over Moonlight. Like, what the fuck?
As the Chemical Brothers went to the Tate Modern and just went, yeah, I've got this.
Okay, so I'll do a quick intro and then Stars takes reins because this was his choice. We recently realized there's a lot of bad episodes of Star Trek. We have to pair them with something excellent in order to be able to digest it. So we just watched And the Children Shall Lead. We gave it flat zeros all around. This was what we chose to pair it with because we knew it was so high quality it would really cleanse the palate. So why did you pick this one, Stars?
So I kind of went into this on the monologue while you guys went off screen to get your stuff ready and whatever. I am a sucker for stories that are about memory loss, about the formation of memory as the backbone of personality, about medical ethics, but like not so much like procedural, like stuff like in House where it's like, oh, medical ethics is like, should you kiss this dying child? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, this is a legitimate like issue. Like, yes, that's no sort of House because of course it is. And it's like this is a legitimate issue, and it's given a sci-fi bent, but like you could very easily take some of it. You could change some of it. And you would still have a strong medical ethics episode on its own. It doesn't necessarily need the sci-fi conceit of like memory, like deletion and pattern buffers or whatever. It doesn't need that. It's essentially just a story about a person discovering the person that he is, discovering selfishness in a way, and working out that he has to be okay with that as an individual, which I kind of appreciate. And lots of other kind of thorny little bits along the way. And there's just a lot of really good, like, little bits of directorial flair, lots of really, really good, subtle, understated performances, a lot of really sharp writing. And it's, like, pretty much a complete bottle episode. Like, the only, like, extra expense they paid was like one guest star and one bit of alien makeup and one prop, pretty much. Yeah. Everything else is pretty much just a bottle. So I imagine it was very, very cheap, but it's just very well done. It's not boring, I don't think. Not really.
I want to disagree with you because I think the sci-fi conceit, the fact that it's Doc or Data, we said it could work with, is what makes the episode or the story so good. Because the memory deletion, I think, is actually core to it. It's such an easy, cheap way out of the situation. And the ultimate solution is, no, we can't do it the easy way. We have to do it the hard way and let it percolate and let it resolve itself. And I feel like that really makes it better. Because if you take away the easy button deletion, then Seven can't go confront Janeway and say, no, you have to do it the hard way. And I think that really adds a lot to the story.
I think
that's fair. Yeah, like you could do it without it, but it would be a much weaker story. Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, no. This was interesting to the point where this feels like the reaction or sort of the follow up to Tuvix in a way. In that, no, without all jokes aside, with the whole Tuvix thing, because we've been through this, and like. It is a moral quandary for anyone. It's the Star Trek trolley problem, but this feels like this is more recompense for Janeway, who can't just beam her problems into one being. She actually has a problem here in the form of a doctor developing a soul and developing something that they gave him and that they have to deal with, and she can't just kind of go like, oh no, fuck it, I'll beam you back together. No, she's tried that. She's done the whole, oh, I'll just delete your memories. Hey, problem solved. Fantastic. In my own Janeway, harsh, we need to get home way, making the tough choices out here in the Delta Quadrant, like she does, and, your own opinion on whether that's the right way to do things or not. But this feels like this is the kind of recompense for her kind of going like, oh no, I can't just do that. This is a living being. I'm now, and Seven, like you say, Seven confronting with her to say like, no, the Doctor is the man you made him. You now have to sit and fall asleep in front of him in order to be good.
By the way, now I'm picturing the EMH tied to train tracks and like countless ensigns tied to the other track, and they're like, which lever? Do you want to pull the lever?
Okay.
We all know we choose the Doc.
Exactly. Okay, fun facts. Here we go. Written by Joe Minosky, who also wrote The Nth Degree, who also wrote Time's Arrow. I will hear no disparaging words against Time's Arrow. I love Time's Arrow. Also wrote The Chase, Future's End, Year of Hell, and also transgressed over to Discovery. He wrote Lethe from Discovery. This
I love Latent. Latent's
yeah.
an amazing episode.
Yeah, he also
That's also about memory.
Yeah, I like writers that go from like the classic era to the new Trek, so that's kind of cool. He also this was also co-written by Eileen Connors. This was the only thing she did, so I think this is sort of like a bit of a 1-2 from then. This was directed by Mike Vijar. He has so many credits, but some notable ones I noted were Coming of Age, Empok Nor, Barge of the Dead. I feel Barge of the Dead is appropriate here, and Unexpected, just because I'm a complete gentleman and I had to. But yeah, no, carry on.
I don't think the direction was at all fault.
No, direction was good episode. Here. There was a lot of choice shots here.
Oh, I mean an Unexpected, but...
Oh, no.
Yeah, Unexpected was entirely a scripting thing. Like, but there is just a lot of directorial flair here. Just like starting off like right from the beginning with the view shot of the camera, which they return to multiple times. Lots of really like considered use of foreground, background, like, and just like changing of perspectives. Like just a little bit of like sleight of hand to maintain the tension a little bit longer. Like there was one slightly egregious use of slow-mo, but even then it's just like it sticks out a little bit because everything else is just everything else is just done so naturalistically that the slow-mo felt a little bit out of place because it wasn't quite so naturalistic. But everything else, like he knows exactly where to draw the camera to maintain the feel, to get claustrophobic, when to pull back. He gets the emotional intensity for it was just right every time.
I want to recommend, I don't think I've ever done this before, recommend if you're watching this and you like the episode, you think you might, go back and listen to our watch along, because there's so many I can't even remember. Almost every time the director has to make a choice, he makes the right choice. And we call out a lot of them, like when there's a tight shot on Doc, it's done for a reason. He's in a reverie, and then that's broken when someone walks in. Or they do a certain angle of the camera. It's purposeful. It's not your standard perfunctory, what do we call it? Not mediocre blocking, but you know what Star Trek is, very formulaic blocking.
Standard blocking, yeah.
It's not that. They do so many interesting angles, so many good choices. And I think I even said once or twice, like when the actors pause before they say something, it's the exact right amount of time because you can follow the thought process and then they say something. So I don't want to keep comparing the past episode we watched, but like that had wrong choices at every possible turn. This had right choices at every possible turn. It was so refreshing.
Yeah, and it's like, I feel like, especially with dictatorial things, like, it is kind of tricky. We talk about how this is like a bottle episode, like, that there's had very little external elements. And yet, when they wanted to create like a feeling of unease, they were very much able to do it. Like the shot of the medical, like the sickbay computer with the doors opening and you don't get to see who comes in. Just like very subtly done, communicates exactly what's going on, builds the tension, and it's a set you've seen a million times, but done from just a slightly different perspective that makes everything go into a completely different, light. And stuff like that tight shot on Doc when he's just like looking to the left and he just reacts when they enter the sick bay, just the right amount of flair. Like it doesn't draw attention to itself, like just like I've talked about in some Star Trek New Worlds camera work, but here it's focused on exactly the right emotional intensity. It's just really well done.
At one point, they deactivate Doctor, and then B'Elanna walks over and stands in his spot to give the viewer the subconscious impression that he's actually gone. Like they're not avoiding that spot. He didn't just duck out of frame. She actually moves into it. So a lot of good choices. And I'll shout out, because he'll probably get buried, Paul Belargian, who did the music for it. There's a couple lonely, solemn French horns. There were some strings at the end where I'm like, all right, and I think I called out one time there was like a 4-minute stretch of music. I think is when he was in the mess hall. And he's talking, and it would be a real talky segment, but I think the music really gives you the impression of the emotions you're supposed to be feeling. So it was good.
Just what a fucking good episode. What a good fucking episode.
I will say I actually liked the talky bits more than everything else. There was some sick bay action, there was some shuttle bay action, and it was fine and it was expository. But when they were one-on-one, when it was Seven and Janeway, when it was Doc and Janeway, I was so dialed in. I was just enjoying, I was basking in every moment of that and the dilemmas, and there's no villain here. Like you can see why Janeway made the choice she did, but you can also see why Doc wants his autonomy.
The villain is mental health, like, which is kind of like, yeah, a little bit of a. I mean, it wasn't intended in the episode because I think it was treated more of a straight science fiction problem, but it turns out to actually have a more wide-ranging metaphor than we intended, like, or they intended. Sorry, Stars, I can see it's on the tip of your tongue there.
Well, so the conflict is guilt. It's a case of like the Doctor, and it's not like he even says, I'm programmed to process the death of a patient, and it's like I just appreciated. You know what? Yeah, you know what, Otto, you're completely right. This works so much better as a sci-fi story because, like, that line of there was a conflict between his cognitive and what logical subroutines, like the conflict between what he thinks and what he knows, in terms of why the conflict arises in the case of what he feels about Jatal versus what he knows as a doctor, and that feedback loop. And that really kind of the fact that you have that technological separation, that making of it about a hologram and a series of electronic pathways, and then you just kind of take a step back and you go, yeah, but that's no different to what you or I do when it's a case of what we know to be true. Like, I wasn't responsible for the accident that killed a member of my family, or that I pulled someone out of and I couldn't say someone else. But my brain and my emotions don't know that. I still feel the way I do, even though I know logically that I shouldn't. And it's like that conflict and that feedback loop is contextualized in a sci-fi way, but just it completely tracks emotively. It's perfectly done. It's so. Yeah. It's the thing. You don't have to. No one has to have a big moment explaining. Well, in a human, it would be like this. Like, no, they trust the viewer to understand that even though the Doctor is an electronic, human who looks like a human, you understand that he is human enough that you can empathize with him. They don't think that you're stupid enough that you need it drawing out for you.
We do get a little moment to punctuate that at the end where Janeway wants to say, says, no, go, I've caused enough suffering. And you see, feels like really bad that anyone else would be inconvenienced by him. So even he's feeling guilt about the whole situation.
It's interesting because this episode also touches on another topic which has also been covered by Voyager as well, is the eventual degradation of a temporary system, which is like he is an emergency medical holographic program. He's not designed for such things. And there was another episode, I forget the episode's name, but it was the one where he starts as a Grey before, and we have to get holographic.
Oh, the Swarm.
Is that Swarm? Yeah, you have to get holographic Zoom
to boot him up. Yeah,
to reestablish. And I feel like that kind of rehashes a little bit of that episode a bit, but more in a way that it's less mechanical and it is more soulful. And I feel like it. And this is kind of my fault for the episode, is they don't telegraph, like, this works great for a serial, like, for a serial episode. If you've watched every episode of Voyager, this works great. But if you're sort of like going, oh, wow, I've not watched this Star Trek since 1996, I'm just going to tune in for an episode and go, well, okay, what's he worrying about? You just had to make a choice. You don't understand the historic progress for the Doctor. I feel there's not enough here to determine, say, like, no, wait, he is holographic. He is now developing a soul. This is important.
Well, I mean, would you knock Discovery for being serialized? Because you'd have to know elements from other episodes. This is pretty light on what I think you'd need to know in order to.
I feel like the episode does just about enough work through Janeway's like dialogue and the exposition to give you the idea
about him being a machine and
about the context of his journey. Yeah, like that. You were right when we were watching that bit between Janeway and Seven in her quarters where she's talking about the replicator, and it's just like she starts off as this innocent enough anecdote, and then it's like, but it doesn't. It's not human. It is just a machine. And it's like, even if you have no context for who the Doctor is or the Janeway is,
on the flip
that kind of tells you part of it.
On the flip side of my argument, I'm now going to completely reverse my argument. That feels very trite of Janeway to say that after 5 years of having the Doctor and being his friend. Yeah, and on the other side, like, it feels like it is an episode trying to do two things at once. It's trying to say, like, okay, he's a machine. We're going to treat him as a machine in the kind of the
Well-
data way. And also, like, oh, he's having an emotional breakdown. You have to know the Doctor as he was over the last 5 series to kind of build up to it. It's a little bit... And I am picking at straws. I really am. I really enjoy this episode.
No, it's...
like, yeah.
They're good points. Part of the reason that scene works, and a lot of scenes work, is you see both sides of it. She has to be the captain for limited crew, limited supplies. She made a choice that she doesn't even really agree with in her gut because she thinks it's going to save the most amount of lives. And when she tells Seven to get out and Seven keeps lecturing her, she stays there and takes it because she knows deep down that part of her feels the exact same way that Seven does. And he's not just a replicator, and that she may have made the wrong choice. And so, and you can just see that play out on their faces too. It's so good.
Yeah,
I just watched yesterday, I watched TNG's Offspring, and the whole conceit is Data makes a child, like a smaller copy of him, which
It's a
exceeds
live
his
data.
Oh, no,
it
sorry, I'm
exceeds
just
his
imagining,
programming.
Like, half-size Data. Sorry,
Like it's like a Data puppet that he carries around on his arm or something. But the conceit is that she can feel emotions. So there's a scene at the end where she's with him, and she's trying to get her words out. She goes, "I feel," and he goes, "What do you feel?" And she just says, "I feel," and like that's it. She feels, and it's the same way with Doc. He has all these emotions, but the point of it is that he can feel, and so that's where all the turmoil comes in, and you feel things along with him. And
5 years of frustration and stress and like
he is
bad
so
manners.
easily irritated.
Suddenly he feels guilty.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait.
Yeah, no, I do love like how they expertly kind of like blend a lot of slice of life stuff with like, and they use that to build the tension. Well, yeah, like the wrestling conversation is a perfect example, and it's like we're gonna like lull you into a false sense of security, and then we're gonna hit you, and it's gonna completely change, and it's gonna get awkward, and it's the good kind of awkward where you go. Because suddenly the entire tenor of it has changed. And it's like I also feel like that bit with Janeway and Seven where they're talking about like the mechanical logic of it all is a really good Janeway moment also because like I feel like one of the problems with Voyager as like a wide series is that Janeway has a kind of inconsistent characterization in that she's like portrayed as a scientist, but that's not always given the right amount of focus, and it doesn't always lead a characterization the way that maybe it should. So like I kind of liked that aspect of it, of like the scientist in her clinging to this logic that she knows makes logical sense, but emotionally it just is not enough. It just is insignificant. It's insufficient, and that's why she lets, like you said, she lets like Seven beat her up about it because she knows that she's wrong, and she wants to be proven intellectually wrong as well as emotionally. And like it's just a good Janeway episode. And that, like, it kind of focuses on the flaws of having to be utilitarian and having to be a little bit cold, and like, like the whole like fandom thing of like, oh, war criminal Janeway. It's like I feel like that's a mass over exaggeration. But it's a case of I like that Janeway has an element of coldness to her because she kind of has to, and she should be allowed to because guess what? Cisco and Picard are also allowed to be cold, and this is one of the better examples of her being cold and how that informs the story and changes it.
Let me ask you, I agree with all that, by the way. How much of that is because she's a woman and the writers said, well, if we're going to do a female captain, we have to make sure that she's a certain way so that people buy into her and think she's allowed to be a captain.
No, this is why I love Kate Mulgrew as an actress, or even an actor, is that she transcends the lines so well. I've never once thought of, even in the early days before we knew, having like trans actors or anything like that, or having like, non-binary, gender choices was a thing. Like seeing Kate Mulgrew as a captain was a revolutionary thing because she's not. I can't describe it.
She's not a female captain. She's just a captain.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of like, she makes these very hard choices. She is dispassionate. She's doing and it is Scorpion is a great example of it as well. It's like, no, I am doing everything I can to get my crew home. I am being devoted. None of that matters to gender. I think that's it. None of it matters to gender. And that's the thing that Kate Mulgrew as Janeway showed me when I was growing up is like, it doesn't matter about these choices you have to make. Gender matters absolutely zero. You get the job done. A little bit of Jellicoe in there with Janeway, I feel. Get it done, and that feels like Janeway here as well. It's like, I need to get this bucket of crew home, this bucket of incompetence home as much as I can. I've got this hologram that's just about trying not to kill everyone on the ship because he can't make a decision between one crew member or the other, and we're just going to get it done. And she realizes her error through this, and she says, okay, no, we're going to have to take the long road. We're going to have to take the hard road mentally and just work him through it. And that's really nice. Like, to say, like, I can't just wipe his memories. I can't just, like, take the easy road. We have to spend some time here and just make him right.
I feel like part of it is that, like, the writing can be inconsistent on Janeway, but I feel like they did just enough, especially in the early days. I think it was Jerry Taylor, was it, like the big, like, kind of like story lead on this. And it's like, I always come back to the Phage, where we really complimented her acting, like, in her reaction to learning about the Vidians as Phage and everything like that. And it's like, it would be very easy to make that like a thing of, she's a woman, so she feels it more than Picard or whatever. But it doesn't come across that way, and I feel like that's like a perfect synthesis of like the writing,
which for the
and also Mulgrew knowing how to play. Yeah,
like there is.
Yeah, like we talk about how bad Andromeda is with like, this kind of shit.
God,
and it's like the way that this completely straddles the line, so that you buy Janeway as a command presence, and there's just like,
and she
is qualified.
She is so that's the reason she has such a fan base, like. Through through all genders, is because she subverts it so well.
We're getting a little far away, but I'll also say I can't think of a single time where they sexualize her. There's a couple, like when Q is on the ship and she's in like a bubble bath or something. That's the closest they get, and that's not a sexual thing. So
that's more like okay.
I feel like they sexualize Picard more with the Q around.
Oh, so much more. Are you kidding me? he has a lot of love affair episodes. Although the episode right before this, Counterpoint, we see a great example of her romance. Where she's still the fucking captain the entire way through, but they do let the hair down just enough that you're like, oh, I want more of that. So
you created false readings. I thought that was the theme.
The theme of the evening.
Oh, so good! Can't wait to do that one. That one's my favorite.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
all right.
If you're following along, we're hoping to do all of season 5 of Voyager because there's so many good episodes. No, don't move us along yet. I have a couple more things I want to bring
go
up.
on.
There's a lot to talk about. This episode's really fucking good.
It is. All right, I want to ask you guys about the last scene because in the memory alpha, they designate like half a dozen paragraphs to talking about this. Apparently, it was written differently by Manaski. Janeway didn't leave at the end. They didn't detail everything, but like apparently all the actors were saying they really liked it and wanted to do it that way. They said they were going to film it both ways, but they only filmed it the one way. What did you think about that last scene? Was it pitch perfect? Was something off? Would you have changed anything?
I think, I read the same article, and I don't know whether it's a case of hindsight. I feel like there's a couple of wrong things here. It's like, Tuvok comes in and says like, oh, you've been here for 16 hours. You should take relief. And she's like, no, I'll stay. And then immediately falls asleep. Like, is she just sort of there? Like, it feels like she's on suicide watch a little bit. Like, she's there.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, a tiny bit. But, like, should she fall asleep doing that? Like, it feels like a little bit irresponsible on her part. It feels like maybe she
Stars, what did I say this week? I messaged you about this. You remember?
I don't. Sorry, my memory is awful. I apologize. Okay. I know you messaged me, but...
Because I knew the episode was upcoming.
Don't tell him he'll have the same ethical quandary. We can't do this again.
I've deleted your memory, Stars. You have no idea what I said. No, I said I like that they actually have her fall asleep. Instead of doting on him and tending to him. Look, she's the captain of the entire vessel. The fact that she's there at all, let alone for almost a full day, that really sells how invested she is in him as a crew member, as a person. She's being a good mama bear and saying that this is how important you are
as well.
Yeah. Yes, a good point.
From my point of view on that final thing is that I think it is... I do like that it's relatively open-ended, that it doesn't just neatly close the book on the trauma, that it's a case of, no, this is going to stick with the Doc for a while. He is not fixed, because trauma and guilt and the bad memories that we carry with us will stay with us, and they don't just go away. They just become more easier to bear and easier to deal with. So I appreciate that aspect of it. I just feel like I understand the intention with the poetry piece, but it feels a little bit too romantic. Like I feel like I'm not familiar with the poem itself. I probably should have read up on it before we did this, but the way that it's La Vita Nuova.
They did say that they editorialized the translation so that it sounded like a better quote for the episode. So it's not a direct translation of the.
Yeah, because I've read a fair bit of poetry, and it's like I feel like there would maybe have been a better passage that was more appropriate, but it's the case it felt a little bit more like we need something like you're poignant to end it on, and I feel like it gets the point across of, every time you meet someone and you form a memory and they become part of your life, it's part of a wider tapestry, and it starts a new life every time in a way. But I feel like, and it's like that's a nicely hopeful message. But I'm not. There's a little bit of incongruity in terms of how it's kind of framed, and I feel like they could have chosen something a little bit more appropriate. But I feel like for the most part, the final scene works. I think it's like that, and the kind of the perfunctoriness of the Jatal scenes that set up the ethical dilemma are the weakest parts of the episode, but they're still pretty decently. They function for what they need to do.
So the quote from the episode is from La Vita Nuova is in that book, which is my memory. On the first page of the chapter that is the day when I first met you, appear the words, here begins a new life. And I like that because it's subjective. It's entirely subjective. It's like, I've seen you for the first time, and from my perspective, here is a new life. And that translates very well to the Doctor as a beginning, is like, I have met you for the first time, here's a new life. The Doctor gets reset, I have met you, here is a new life. It is understanding and also very subjective, very sort of inward, sort of assimilating. It feels like more like, the more I sort of read into it, it feels like this is like a Janeway's retelling of this account of this story, as opposed to, the Doctor's side of it. It feels like Janeway saying, right, I've met a new life, and this is how I will deal with it.
No, I like that. That's a good perspective on it. I hadn't considered that.
Okay, anyway, it is time for... Bread. Sorry, very enunciated the bread there.
Idol, what's your bread?
What is my bread of the episode? I have to admit, the thing that comes back to me is none of the philosophical the thing. It's just more who has a weapon that splits into 3 beams and that can target 3 people.
It's one of the upgrades you get during the game.
I want to shoot 3 people at the same time.
No,
not
it's the
2,
same stars.
not 4, 3.
3. It's the same weapon in Elite Force, isn't it? It's it's the alien gun in Elite Force that can shoot 3 beams on the alt fire, isn't it? Yeah, it's exactly that weapon. And yeah, so that just sticks in my head. That's my bread. Just I'm gonna misfire and shoot exactly 3 people in exactly the same positions.
He's got aim assist on.
Yeah. IDDQD, let's go. That's my bread. How about you, Otto? What is your bread?
My bread, and this is one of the more clear, when I think about the episode, I think about this. He's holding the 2 fruits, and it's such a good visual, because in a series, in a franchise about big visuals and CGI and special effects, sometimes the simple things are what sticks with you. When I watch Unforgettable, I always think about at the end, Chakotay's there with pencil and paper writing down his thoughts, because that's such a great analog thing that you don't get in Star Trek. A lot of Cisco episodes, you think about the baseball, having some little tactile thing that you can play with. It's good for sticking in the viewer's memory. Like you say, all the chewy dialogue, it's fun to listen to, but none of it really can grab you sometimes like a visual thing. So the little fruit thing and then him throwing it always sticks in my bread.
Bread.
Go stars.
My bread is kind of related, but in a very different kind of tone. I really love the effect they went for with the imaging of the people from the inside out.
Oh yeah,
because not only is it a really awesome visual effect for when they came out 2000, but it's also just a really good visual metaphor for what the entire episode is about. If you think about it, it tells you from the very first scene, this is a story about what makes people. From the the cellular atoms all the way up to the skeleton, the skin, the blood, all that. What is it that makes people? And it's memories, and it's about like the images of I don't know, like something about that, and like the simplicity of it, and how it's threaded throughout the entire episode, like the focus on photography and just on images and how you interpret them, and just like the whole feedback loop that Doc gets into is all about interpretation and how you choose to view something. Is this a trauma, or is it a learning experience? Is it both? Is it neither? And it's just like, and they do it just enough times that it's very memorable, but they don't overdo it. Like, it'd be so easy to overdo it. They only do it like 2 or 3 times, and it's just like every time you do it, it's well done. And it serves a good narrative purpose. So yeah, I'd say like the hologram reconstructions of the crew is probably my bread.
How about our...
The best advice I can give you is to just be yourself.
Be yourself.
You're the worst thing that ever happened to Zek. You're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Actually, that's the second best piece of advice.
In fact, you're the worst thing that ever happened to the
Nemo,
entire
I will not hear any
Ferengi
disparagement against Elite Force.
No. Just stop saying.
Okay, best and worst moments. Hey, I'm going first. Okay, so I'm going to jump the gun. My best moment was definitely the conversation between Seven and Janeway. Literally, it felt like the conversation between Seven. The reason that the Doctor and Seven work so well together is because they're both fighting the same kind of individuality struggle. And this sort of takes that to Janeway in a sort of a wide enough route that, like, oh, well, you're not treating the Doctor as an individual, so what do you think about me? And that kind of forces Janeway to kind of pivot her opinion a little bit. So I will definitely go with that for my best moment. My worst moment is very... I don't know. I feel like... My thing about this episode is I feel like they kind of dance around the topic too much without addressing... I can't... There's something off around how they treat the Doctor in this episode, or sort of how things progress quite quickly, or how, like, I don't know whether it's some juice and sort of the modern serialized storytelling where you can kind of tell this coming from like a mile, like several episodes away. They build up to it. All of a sudden, the Doctor has an issue with something that happened, a couple of years ago. It resurfaces, and I don't know. There seems to be something. And you can tell I'm clutching at straws here. This is an excellent episode. I'm really struggling to find something here, and it is in the pacing of the episode more than actually what is in the meat of the episode itself. So I will kind of say my worst moment in this episode is I don't really know. But there is a feeling. I have a feeling of something
missing. Sure.
Yeah, sure. You're right. There's something missing. How about you, Otto?
Well, let me offer this. What if they added a scene with Kim and Doc where he has to face the person that he chose to save? Kim's going to try to relieve the guilt, but maybe seeing that face to face would really evoke something in Doc.
I tell you what would be good, actually, is if in his memory the ghost of, what was her name? Jital?
Jital, yeah.
If she was to appear as a ghost to him, haunting his memories. To say something, just to sort of like, and he'd be like, oh no. They could even do like, he could interact with her and assume, kind of like the false ghost thing, like he's interacting with her but no one else is, and they go like, oh no, who are you? No, you're a ghost of my memory. That would be quite a cool way to do it.
The thing is, that's a great memory. That's a great conceit for, but it's like another episode. I feel like I think if you put it into this, it would be a bit overstuffed. You could maybe do something with like him trying to create a holographic personality of her, and like, trying to interact with her and work out his grief through that. But that could get very messy very quickly. But maybe that, depending on how you wrote it, that could be interesting.
Sorry, I don't mean to hijack, but yeah, go around.
No, I threw it to you. So my best is the reconstruction of Janeway as the villain. Like you said, they set it up first in the first scene with composing the body. And then, man, just chef's kiss, that scene. We get the great angle with the reflection of the door opening. You don't see who it is. And then the slow reveal of constructing the body based on something we just saw. So it fits. You see the red uniform first, and your brain for a split second runs through who wears red uniforms, who could it be? And it's Janeway. And it's one of the last people you expect. So such a great, the top of the suspense right there. My worst moment, and it's really kind of like the big, the Achilles heel for this episode. I don't give a shit about Ensign Jatal. I've never seen her before. All you get is her like smiling and quipping a couple times at parties. And the thing is, Voyager does a decent job of giving you like real minor characters that appear throughout the series. They kill off Joe Carey in Friendship 1. It's like the third last episode. And it's so unnecessary because they write out Neelix 2 episodes later. And that's the one that everyone actually remembers leaving the show. They weren't using Carey at this point in the show. Why not give us someone we actually know and care about? And I know maybe you want to save him for future, but they ended up not using him anyway. Kill off Joe Carey because I know him because he built up sympathy in previous episodes, and then I'm feeling the guilt along with Doc. Like he kills someone I've never seen before, will never see again. That kind of was like a big sort of like black hole in the middle of the episode where I wasn't feeling anything. So
I'm not necessarily saying this was the intent, but I'm just gonna like the way I kind of interpret it. I almost feel like that's intentional. I almost feel like it's intentional that you don't get much of an impression of her, and that she's just kind of a generically nice person because the Doctor doesn't know her. Like that is intentionally, he makes the point of, I had a choice and I chose my friend. And it's like, I didn't, implying that he is not Jatal's friend. And guess what? She's not in the main credits. She is not a character that we know on the same degree as Harry Kim. And it's a case of, maybe it's meant to be like a case of, that is the Doctor's recollection of her as a perfectly nice individual who didn't leave that much of an impression, except for that time she died on him, which is like a bit brutal in a way. So I'm not quite sure if it's the intention, but that was always kind of how I interpreted it. That's why she doesn't get as much of a focus, and why she's just like, she's fine, but she doesn't make an impression, as it were.
She did kind of, I kind of like the impression she made though, because it felt like she was a natural part of the crew. Like she was like early on, she was like, "Oh yeah, I've got to do this for Paris or Taurus or wherever it was in the early days." It's like, "Oh wow, she feels like a natural member of the crew already." Like, can we get some more of her? Oh no, she's dead. Could we have not killed Kim instead? No, okay, fine.
No, because he's one of people's top 50 sexiest men
no,
alive.
That's fine. That was the previous series. That's why we got rid of Kess. Weirdly. He's down to the top 150 now.
Love the implication that he's only sexy in that 1 year and then fell out of the top 50. They're like, no, we've had enough.
There's a new crop.
Yeah, there's a new crop. All right. It is time.
I didn't do my best and worst.
Oh, you haven't? Sorry.
No, we're out of time. It is time for our rating. We're going to be brute. You're the Ensign Jatal of this show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I feel really bad saying that. I shouldn't have said that.
Nah, it's all good. So I'm gonna go with the worst moment being the slow-mo on the bridge.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the one, not directorial misstep, but it just overplays its hand a little bit. It's just a little bit too much, and it's fine. It just sticks out a little bit. My best moment is categorically, again, on the bridge, but it's when the Doc comes up and they're having the conversation about the sumo. A mutiny. I guess that's better. Yeah, I guess that's better than the conspiracy. And the look on Mulgrew's fucking face, and like the way that she snaps him back with "in my ready room."
Dude, Netflix should have captioned that in brackets. You fucking what? Question mark. That would have been so good. She gives him the slow turn.
Yeah.
No, you could easily turn that into a GIF. It's so well done. There's so much venom in there. Like, Mulgrew plays that perfectly, and I really appreciate Picardo's follow-up where, like, he is so full of piss and vinegar, he's got a full head of steam, and he just cuts him off right there. It's like, no, I'm not going to deny it. You caught me.
And Chakotay doesn't even fucking stop smiling during that, because they cut back to him one more time after Doc drops the bomb, and he's still smiling. I'm like, bro, you were there when it happened, right? Why are you such a...
I think he was just, like, smiling awkwardly, like,
with my spirit animals right now.
I'm no longer the Chakotay defense squad, and when you start to look at him in a more objective light, it's like, everyone else was right.
Get on Prodigy. Get on Prodigy. Anyway, it is time for...
I can show you my rating code.
Schiller rating 3.5. Associational rating norm -3. That's much too low a rating.
Just not accustomed to seeing an unsatisfactory rating on a member of my crew.
A crew has only nothing but satisfactory rating. Stars, with your frantic typing, which I can only assume is brainstorming our rating criteria this week. What have we got?
I was actually enjoying the conversation so much that I was not thinking of a rating criteria, so I come up with one on the fly. But if you've got a better one, then I'll happily take that one. I've got how many conspiracy revealing photon buffers out of 10?
That's pretty damn good. Conspiracy revealing photon buffers. I don't think no, I think that's it.
My other thought was how many Jital fruit.
By the way, just so we don't let it pass, Ethan Phillips did a good job.
Yeah.
Even in season 5, there's parts of the Federation that are a little alien to him, and he doesn't know how psychotic this hologram might get, and he was properly, golden stream down his leg. It was good acting. So
okay. Let's start with you, Otto. I'm going to need you to give me at least a good 3-minute explanation on your rating on this, because I'm going to need to go to the toilet. I'm so sorry, because I am absolutely busted.
I'll throw it to Stars after
All
when
right,
I'm done.
Stars, you go for what is your rating, please?
All right. So yeah, I suggested this, and I think I was talking with you, Otto. It is one of my favorite episodes of Voyager. I love Doc episodes, but this one I feel like dials down on some of his less unflattering aspects. Like, I love someone to watch over me, but when you think about it, it does kind of make him out to be a bit more of a dick when you think about it objectively. Yeah. But this, he is very much a victim, and all of his flaws are more humanizing than they are annoying here. Like, all the stuff like when Naomi in the beginning, it's like, you kind of empathize with it, it's play for a bit more comedy. It doesn't wear on you, which I feel like elevates this above a bit. There are a few bits and pieces here that kind of don't quite sell it. Like, there are tiny missteps, but I wouldn't say they are bad. It's just a case of maybe in the interest of subtlety, you could have made a different choice. Like the slow-mo, for example, is the big one. Maybe they could have tightened up the writing on Jital, maybe gone for a different actress for a bit more of an impression. I don't know. That being said, it's still easily one of my favorite memories of one of my favorite episodes of Voyager. One of my favorite memories living in our memories. I'm gonna have to be objective, which is hard for me, and I'm going to give this a 9.975 conspiracy revealing photon buffers out of 10.
For some reason, I didn't think you'd go that strong, but no, you're right, because I did a Voyager rewatch, I think within the last year, or at least I finished within the last year, and I'm pretty sure I messaged you about it. Especially in the later seasons, there's a lot of episodes where Doc is a fucking creep, or he abuses his role as physician with relation to Seven. And so you're right, this was him as innocent as can be. He didn't do anything wrong, and that really helps you feel the guilt of everyone involved in the empathy and such. I'm pretty close to this. Is a great episode. You didn't sell me at all on the Jital thing. I still think she was a bad choice. So that's why I'm going to bump it a shade off perfect. It's 9.8 conspiracy buffer thingamajigs out of 10. This one really grabs you as you're watching it. Like, you put the phone on silent. Don't bother me for another 42 minutes. And the talkie bits were they were better than all the rest of the bits, which is how you know it's a good one. Like, it's courtroom sort of quality in the mythos of put two people in a room and let them talk, and I am absolutely gripped. So, and then the directorial choice on top of that were really good. Everyone acting, man, even Naomi was like, this is some of her best. She got the little tongue-in-cheek joke where I'm like, all right, that's endearing. Almost everyone except fucking Pace Chakotay, sorry buddy, was good in this episode. I mean, we didn't even shout out Paris. Like, he cut right to the quick where he's like, actually, I was there and I agree with it, Doc. And they have a special relationship because even though they're adversarial, they've worked together for 5 years at this point, and they have begrudging respect for each other. And so when he says, I'm on board too, that's kind of like the last nail in the coffin for Doc. So, just a masterful performance by everyone involved, all the way from music to direction to actors to everything. So 9.8, excellent episode.
I feel like
I gave it a 9.975.
Oh wow! Oh, I absolutely warped 9.9 rating there. I feel like the other rating criteria would be how many Captain Janeway side eyes would you give this? There's definitely a lot of Captain Janeway's like, you fucking what, bruv? You know, there's a lot of that in this episode.
Tiny knee reflex hammers out of 10. Like, he was about to go to town on her. It was funny.
The thing that rides through in my mind, and it's always just like, what if I showed my wife this episode? What if I showed someone that doesn't know anything about Star Trek in this episode? And it always rides in the top of my head for like anything I watch, which is why a lot of episodes have been getting a lot of worse ratings. I'm gonna go for a solid 9 for this episode. This is definitely straight down the line. This is excellent in terms of what it is. I feel I dock the point from being a pure 10 for the unknowns in the character work. It suffers from too much of being, it is a bubble in itself. It is the episode in itself. Whereas if you compare it to the Doc's other individuality struggles, like, you know, being repaired by his own emergency maintenance hologram, the whole Beowulf arc, the whole, you know, there are other elements of the Doc's individuality that have come into question before, and this isn't the first hard decision he's had to make. He should have something in this programming that would say, like, oh, well, this is the most logical choice to repair crew, but I get the intentions for the mental health side of things, which definitely bumps up the score quite a lot, because you can't help be prepared for everything, and sometimes you do just need someone sleeping on a couch next to you while you work out things in your brain to get over your problems, and I can sympathize with that a lot. So that is definitely 9 conspiracy revealing photon buffers out of 10 for me, which brings this episode to a fantastic 9.6. Which, hang on, sorry, I've just got to scale this. It's going to take me a while to scale the spreadsheet up.
Oh, you're falling
apart.
You've
got to reprogram Idle.
I have had a few light ales this evening.
Is this the best Voyager we've done so far?
I'm going to tell you in a minute. This is certainly better than Phage. This is...
Because if we're going to be doing season 5... Voyager's going to go up.
Yeah, this is the number 6 episode, the 6th best episode we have watched so far. It beats Charades. It's just under the cloak of war. The next Voyager episode, the next Voyager episode we thought was good was Phage. Underneath that, oh, it's a long
Time
way
and
down.
again.
Oh no, sorry, Blink of an Eye. Blink of an Eye we gave 8, so not that far. Voyager sits high, so it was a good rating. But thank you everyone for watching. We will be back in a couple of weeks for our next episode. Hey, we'll find out what that is when we watch it. Probably more Voyager. Also, are we going to start from Night and work our way through? Or
I think so. The Summer of Voyager.
The Summer of Voyager.
I think it'd be good. I mean, it's not as serialized as something like DS9, but I think to see the arc of the characters and just the quality of Berman era sci-fi and why a lot of people fell in love with it, I think it's going to be a good exercise. So
Night is such a good episode. Night is probably going to be
proper Star Trek.
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
probably going to be a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't know. That's it's very good. Anyway,
I struggle to think of a problem with it, but
yeah,
I'm excited.
I feel like this is going to be the Chakotay sitting around the table going, opinions, everyone. And then the Bellanatoris is like, actually,
thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, the only way to improve it is if they would have killed off Joe Carey in that episode too. I think that would have really...
Oh no, I tell you what, we've actually forgotten a segment that you invented, Stars. We've forgotten how would this episode be fixed with a box?
I still don't understand what that means, so you're gonna have to let me know.
I think, you know what? If you put the Doc under a box rather than rewriting his memory and let him just work out, it would have fixed the problem.
Wait, what if instead of a fruit bowl, he plucked it out of a fruit box?
There you go.
Like one of those Chiquita banana cardboard boxes.
On that note, we will see you next time. Live long, prosper, and ta-ra.
What about you, Hooker?
Well, I was thinking about Tahiti. What'd you have in mind?
I was thinking about dinner at my place about 8 o'clock. Why don't you make it 7? You can help me find a place to kill some new plants.
Hey, wait a minute. How do I know you can cook?
Hooker, trust me.
Trust me. Now, where have I heard that before?